Welcome along, everyone, to your home of rugby. We are almost at the big show, the big dance, the ultimate showdown of the Rugby World Cup. Welcome along, and for those of you who are there to see the actual game on the stream, that's not going to happen, so don't even stay if you're going to be doing that. We are here to talk, we are here to watch, and hopefully we'll have a good discussion about what's going on in the opening game of the Rugby World Cup. It is Japan, it is Russia, and it all starts here tonight with this big opening clash. And of course today is a special day as well, not only because the World Cup's starting, because we're actually going to have something a little bit special as well going into this one. We've actually got a special guest joining us. So watch this awesome transition. Bang!
Transition.
Paul.
Hello everybody. Hello everybody. I've got my wine jersey on. I'm ready. I've got my Taranaki jersey on. I'm ready. Oh, and I've got the bucket hat, so people recognise me. Otherwise, I'd be incognito. No one would know who I was.
Sorry, I'm just tweeting out that
that we're live.
World Cup jersey, everything. You know, we've got the best of the best going on. So none of this excuse for bad stuff here.
Really? Do I have to run to my bedroom and get myself? Really? Do I have to run to my bedroom and get myself a Rugby World Cup jersey? I can do.
We don't want an English jersey in here.
No, it wasn't English jersey. No, I meant a World Cup.
No, it wasn't English jersey. No, I meant a World Cup jersey, not for any country, but a tournament jersey. I've got 2015 Rugby World Cup tournament jersey.
Knock yourself out if you want to feel like you're the part. I mean, Mitre 10 Cup. I don't think anyone knows what the Mitre 10 Cup is anymore because it's the Rugby World Cup now. That's all that matters. And that's all we're talking about.
I'm hipster. You see, this my 10 Cup is the hipster rugby tournament.
No, we've moved on. We've moved on from that now. Right, we're going to talk about, obviously, Japan up against Russia. So the game is about 10 minutes or so away from kicking off. So we'll do a little bit of a preview of what's going to happen. So, Paul, you're here. We're talking about the game. What are you expecting?
What I'm expecting? I'm expecting Japan to be the fast-flowing usual self, and basically Russia not to be able to cope with that at the end of the day. Look, this Japan side have been together since pretty much December last year with Jamie Joseph. This is admitting that the Super Rugby was basically totally written off, and everything about this year for Japan was the Rugby World Cup. That's all that matters. And he's had this team together for a long time. They're going to click. They know each other very well. This Russia team, let's remember, the only reason they're here is because Spain and Romania were disqualified of having ineligible players. Sorry. And so this Russia side really is going to find themselves out of depth. They are, in for a world of hurt.
Poor old Russia. I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit of hope. There's a couple of guys in this Russian team now. It would be amazing to hear you go through the side, but I'm going to save you of that embarrassment. But number 10, number 15, Vasily Artemyev. He's a quality player, and I mean that's their fullback, that's their captain, the best guy I think on their paddock. But I don't think he's going to see much ball except for when he's fielding it from a kick from the other team. And they've got Kushnerev, their fly half as well, a very experienced, good player. I think the Russians have a little bit about them. They could do a little bit of something. But I mean, I think, like we talked about in the preview, they're going to probably play 9-man rugby, maybe 10. I mean, Kushnerev might get a little bit of ball. Expecting, it's any free-flowing backline moves from the Russians?
No. I mean, look, they've got two players who play at any level of rugby. That's everybody else playing for other Russian NSI clubs, other Russian. We've got two players that are used to playing anywhere near this kind of level of rugby, it's damage limitation before we even start. I'm just looking for some fun. I'm just looking forward just for the fun of watching Japan run riot, to be honest.
Don't be so mean to the poor Japanese. What do you think of that Japanese team? They've gone pretty all out, haven't they? They've gone all the big guns, all the hot shots. Pretty much the best team they can put out.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Sumo says on the coverage, Japan are going to throw the washing machine at this. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it's going to be good.
I didn't hear him say that. I thought the washing machine was a good analogy to make. Yeah, chucking everything out there. That's what they're going to do. Why not? What have they got to lose? What have they got to lose?
What happened to the kitchen sink?
Hey, come on. I'll tell you, stat man. Russia's beaten Japan once.
Oh, got him. Go on, Statman. Really?
I don't know when. Come on. don't call up my stat.
Details. Jeez, who wants details?
I was just surprised that they've beaten them once. But there you go. They've played 6 times and it's 5-1 to Japan, quite obviously.
Well, yes. So in Russia and Namibia, I think there's only 2 sides that have never won a Rugby World Cup game. Was it Russia and Uruguay? Anyway, there's 2 of them. Japan because of their schedule, right? They're playing. They have a week's break between them again. They play 1 game per weekend. They play the opening game in the last game of the pool stages, which means they can roll out their best side for every single one of their 4 games. They don't have to worry about resting players. Unlike other teams who have got a 4-day turnaround or a short turnaround, Japan, being the host, have a fixed schedule, and so. You've got to say, why not roll out best side now against Russia? I think they've got up next. Then they have Samoa, and then they have Scotland from their games. So warm up for their game against Ireland.
It is indeed. Yep. Well, hopefully they can put on a few good points as well. They do look like they're about ready to get underway. The teams are about to come on running out. I'm just fiddling with outputs.
You're fiddling?
Yeah.
You want me to keep talking? I can keep talking.
I'm just looking for people's feedback on how the stream is actually going, because it is actually a stream when we're used to doing videos. So if anyone's out there watching, there's a few of you, let us know how it's going, because we've never actually done 2 people at once and watching and going on. It's all a bit new. It's World Cup opener, why not?
Absolutely. I mean, who needs testing and that kind of stuff ahead of the Rugby World Cup? Let's just you. So hi Taz in the live chat. Could see you. Andreas in there as well. So Simon says Japan only narrowly beat Russia last year in the last 5 minutes. So maybe, just maybe, Russia will keep this competitive. However, having seen Japan through the Pacific Nations Cup, where they looked pretty slick, I think Japan have had 4 lined up for today. It's all looking good for them.
They look prepared. They look ready to go. Who knows who the Sunwolves are? We've kind of moved on from there, haven't we? Super Rugby's gone. All the bad talk about Japanese rugby's out of here. It's all good news. It's all great news.
No, and this isn't some. And again, this the Sunwolves had a lot of foreign players in it this year, so that these guys, so that basically the Japanese internationals didn't have to be involved with Super Rugby.
Yeah.
And sorry, I've got feedback. I've got multiple. I've got like 3 different sort of volumes. Right, so I'll mute the live stream. I'll try and increase the volume so I can hear what's going on. There we go.
I'll turn myself up. Apparently I'm too quiet.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Oh, you're too quiet. Okay.
How's Paul's volume, everyone? Let us know in the chat. Let us know what's going on. And of course, welcome along, everyone. Taz, tell me, why are you not happy with me?
Because she's Tack is saying you're quiet, not Taz. Yeah, look, Italy beat Russia, as you say, 87-5 in the warm-up games. Russia also lost to Jersey Reds and Connacht in the warm-ups to this. Look, it's not looking good for them. And their jerseys aren't looking good either, to be on with that. The Russian ones, well, actually, I don't like the Japan ones either. I don't like the way that it goes up at the sides. It makes them look like some sort of Transformers. I just like, if you're going to have hoops, I love hoops, don't worry, I love stripes. Just keep them horizontal. Why mess around with it?
How do you mean they go up? I'm looking at so many things at once. That's the problem.
You just need to calm down, slow down, and enjoy the game. So,
I'm cranking my mic right up for Zach in the comments, by the way, Zach. Oh, it's just peaking. It's peaking. So hopefully that's better. Am I getting louder to you, Paul?
No, you sound exactly. It's all good. But it's probably a different feed.
Hello, everyone. Go on.
Do it right now. I need to. I'm just looking at myself in your picture. I'm just going to alter my. There we go. I'm looking better now. There we go. I'm looking better now. Better position, I think. Oh, anthem time. Here we go. Anthem time. Here we go, folks.
We are cranking the anthem. Spark, I mean, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to Sparky. I've got to say, and I know Ashman, who's a regular on your channel, will not agree with me, but I'm going to say, this is like awesome. Like, the picture's awesome. It's crystal clear. It's perfect. There's no lag. There's no, crunching or anything like that. It's great. And I mean, I say well done, Spark, for that. It's been great. Scotty Stevenson said, we'll be back at Sky Sport in a moment at the start. So well done to him. He's already had his stuff up for the day. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. How are you finding it?
So we've got the Japanese national anthem. But I am getting some very slight buffering. So there's a stop. It is a bit jittery for me. Now I tried to change from Wi-Fi to cable, to Ethernet, to try and solve that, and then it told me that I was on too many devices. Obviously, different IP address through Wi-Fi than through the Ethernet cable. And I'm not sure. I've turned Wi-Fi back on, so I'm not sure if I'm running on Wi-Fi or if I'm running on Ethernet at the moment. It's all a bit confusing.
I'm trying to work out why my mic's quiet, but Zach, just turn up your volume. Turn up your volume. I can't possibly. I'll be eating the mic if I get any closer to it, and that's ill-advised.
But Andy, that's great news that everyone else's live stream's getting shut down.
What?
Because everyone's trying to show the game.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And illegal live streams. So.
Well, I mean, anyone who's here, we're going to have. You can see it already on your screen. We're going to have the scores at the top. We'll be flicking in and out of Paul to give you an update on who's actually scoring, because we've got hang on, we're going to miss you out for a second here, Paul, but we're going to swipe. We got that, so we've got a nice little screen here that's going to have the scorers, all the people who've scored points, scored tries, all that sort of jazz, and obviously the scoreline at the top. So we are about all ready to get underway here, Paul. It's about ready to go. We are about ready for the World Cup, Paul. Get excited. It's been so long coming. The pig pen is out. Let's go. I hope you heard that, Zach. It kind of creeped up on me. No, there's no Russian national anthem. We are going. It is all go. We are ready for kickoff. Now, I'll tell you what, I tweeted earlier saying that opening ceremony was like a numbing sort of realization that it's here. And it is finally here. We are underway. We are going. And it's Japan, who is taking a kickoff from Russia, are just scooting down the sideline. They've almost scored already. It's a slight exaggeration. But what a start. What a start, 15 seconds on the board. Russia, would you give them a line break there? I would, certainly.
I'm still in the middle of the Russian anthem. Perhaps I need to refresh my screen.
Falling behind, don't worry. We'll keep Paul up to date with what's going on as well. Russia inside the Japanese 22, and it was their hooker, Selski, who just made a darting run after Japan absolutely stuffed up the kickoff. And hello, we're off to a great start for Russia. They've even got the line out, so somehow Japan have actually put that out as well. What a fantastic start. The Russians, they've got a big driving maul. This is a brilliant start. This is what we should be excited for, because the hosts are under the pump inside the opening minute. Here we go. Look, they've actually used a backline player there. Look at that, Paul, you'll be pleased. Oshrushko has just charged 5 meters out from the Japanese line. Come on, this is it. This is a great start. Imagine the crowd's going to be just livid if Japan concede a try very early on. And this is Russian rugby. Big boys thundering in. You're struggling to catch up.
I've got them all. I've got the 5 meter maul.
We'll keep you up to date. The Russians
spinning it
are
wide,
destroying it at the moment, going into their midfield. Oh, the names of the Russians. We've got a penalty. They're not rolling away at the breakdown. Russia's got a penalty. This is superb. This is a superb start for Russia. I have no idea if anyone's commenting anything. I'm good now. I'm good now, Zach, because I'm literally yelling in excitement that Russia is just killing it. 2 minutes in, and the Russians are on fire. We've got windows going everywhere.
I'm impressed, and they're clearing out well. They're controlling the breakdown, the ruck, getting pretty quick ball back. This is good ball retention, and as you say, picking up those penalty advantages along the way. This is impressive play by Russia.
They just kick for touch instead of for the posts. What a statement! What a statement that is. That's crazy.
3 points here to really silence this.
That is insanely crazy. Right, we're still trying to get volumes right, Paul, so we're fluffing about. But this is a great start. This is a great start. This is exciting stuff. How could you not be excited about the Rugby World Cup?
I'm excited, but I'm just the buffering I've got on my
I don't think Skype is really... Oh, they've stuffed up their line out. Japan turning over at the back. It looks like Himino is the one that's picked it up. The number 8 for the Japanese have gone back straight away. And charge down. It's going to be a try. I thought just about almost could be. Do we get excited here? They're going... No, for a knock-on. Well, I was just about excited. Just about excited. Well, it was a charge down kick. They went for the clearing kick on their own in goal. Tamura with it. Charged down. And it just went dead. What a chase, though. Give that credit there. Dorothy was just all over that. What a start this is. What a start this is. Zach's having a good week. He's got a brand new $600 guitar. That sounds brilliant. The magic spray's out. What sort of guitar is it, Zach? It's a fairly flash one. Well done. Where's the video, Zach, with all the awesome music? That's what we want to see. That's what we want to hear. Oh! Is Paul just catching up? Welcome back, Paul.
So it's a 5-metre scrum.
To Japan.
But even so, it's not a 22 dropout, which I thought it would be because he got charged down.
I think they're calling a knock-on.
So I thought he'd get charged down, went dead.
Was the call. And the call was a knock-on. It's a good start, though. Goodness me, I don't think anyone would have been expecting Russia to be quite like this. It's got awfully warm in here all of a sudden. Fantastic. Go Russia. No, everyone loves an underdog, don't they? Good God.
They do. I'm just not loving this buffering.
I don't think...
I wanted Spark Sport to be so good. I really did.
Really probably stream, watch, Skype all at the same time. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But this is a great start from the Russians.
Right. I'm going to quit the YouTube and just do
What are you doing? Keep up with the
exactly.
game, man. It's all about...
But that means I don't get to see the comments, you see. So you're going to have to keep me up to date on the comments.
YouTube's got a fantastic little streaming deck here where we know exactly what's going on. Everyone's comments are coming through, I'm pretty sure, nice and hot as well. So we've got no problem. No problems at all.
Love this. Mr. Moore, do you know who the expert commentator is working with? Scotty Stevenson. He's driving me nuts. Is that on Twitter? Yes, I do. It's the man who did the kick.
The kick. The great movie that's on TV as well. Again and again and again. They just don't get rid of the damn thing. Here we go. Russia. Here we go. This is Artemiev. This is the man. This is the man we want to see. Artemiev going a big high kick. A big bomb. Oh, that's a terrible mistake in the back from Japan. Oh, there's going to be a try to Russia. It's a try to Russia. Let's get excited. Russia have scored straight off the kick. It's been knocked on at the back. This is what the World Cup is all about. Golonitsky. I've made a hash of his name. I don't care because that's how I'm saying these Russian names. And if you disagree from the way it's said there, then too damn bad. Golonitsky scored. Russia are in the lead. And now we have to get things sorted out here. Oh, this is exciting stuff, is it? This is just brilliant stuff. It is...
Oh, how did he miss that?
The catch?
That was awful. Yes, the catch. Sorry, I've just caught up. They've just scored.
Yeah. Didn't want the ball, did he? Who was that else? That was a full... Well, I mean...
He didn't want the ball at all, no.
He's not a fullback, is he? Tupou is not a fullback. Centre, wing, yeah, but he's not a proper... Like, there's many better options that I think they could have gone with. Matsushima, definitely much better option. Swap Tupou and Matsushima around and they've got a lot stronger team, but give some credit here to Russia. Give some credit here to the Russians.
They've camped in the Japanese half, and yeah, the pressure has told in the end.
Well, and surely the conversion...
How did he miss?
Outstanding!
How did he miss that?
7-0.
Wow.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, look, he was standing back from the ball, not even interested in it at all. he was never going to catch that. His body was never in line with it. No.
There was no commitment to the ball.
No.
There needs to be a commitment to that ball, and he wasn't. Well, just wasn't there.
Oh, that is a great start. That is a superb start. That is exactly what we needed. I'm still trying to update the scoreline here on the stream, so everyone will be able to see it is 7-0 to Russia. If we go back to the scores, you'll be able to see that as well. But whew, what a start. Russia, 7-0 up over Japan. And now they've got to do, I mean, they've dominated this game, haven't they? They've really dominated it. They've had all the territory, especially, have the Russians. So now it's going to go back to that style. They've got to actually play their way out of their own 22 now. And that's going to be interesting to how they can manage to do this. It's through the boots of their scrum half. The box kick away. Dorothy does very well. And Japan, here we go. This is where they're going to be dangerous, I think, the Japanese. Oh, they've got a decent little run there. Himino, he's a definite target man for them. Quick ball, too, for the Japanese. They're kicking away. Oh, there's no one at the back there. This could be a bit dangerous. The try scorer's there. And see, the different game now, Paul. It's a different game. Japan on the front foot. They're really attacking through their through the.
Yes, different game. So I'm just getting the box kick now.
They've hung on to it. At least we give some credit here to the Russians. They've done an extremely good job. They've cleared their line. They're outside the 22. 7.5 minutes in. And it is 7-0 Russia. Shock the world. It is 7-0 Russia. I didn't expect this. I mean, this is almost the, what do you call it? The risk, I guess, of playing in a smaller nation like in Japan. You want to give the host team that big win. You take it to South Africa, you take it to England, you've always got that big team versus a minnow that you really get an upset. This is a little bit more interesting. A little bit more interesting here between two relative smaller nations. I mean, Japan should be doing a lot better, but they are struggling, and they've just lost the ball. Knock on. It's ball for Russia, and confidence is an interesting little thing. Very interesting little thing. Right, let's get the scores up to date here on this. We were getting a bit excited through that. So, who was it scored that try? It was let's try to spell his name properly. Golo Nit Kiy. Well played from him as well. Now this is a great start. When he made a Russia, Paul, you talked them down big time right at the start, but they're looking side.
No, absolutely. I did talk them down initially but they've defended well. They've looked after their own ruck well, which has been a big thing because that made they could camp in the Japanese half or Japanese 22 really, and put that pressure on, which then led to the mistake and the try really. And now they're showing that they've got some they can defend resolutely. The problem is going to be for them is going to be fitness, and Japan are looking jittery, aren't they? And it's not a surprise here. They're at home in front of 80,000 people. They rarely get this kind of situation, and it's unsurprising that some of these guys have come out and they're a bit too nervous. Can they settle down now?
Big questions, big pressure here on the Japanese, and they might be in for a chance here. It's a bit of a dangerous play down the left-hand wing. A nice little chase there from the Meki, who is a dangerous player, and the Russians very quickly under pressure. They're all over this ruck. I mean, goodness me. I mean, are we still playing here? The ref, he's got his arm in the air. The Japanese are playing on. It's almost a dinky little try back the other way, but they were messing up that ruck massively. All over it. All on the wrong side. All over the ball, kicking it away. And Leach is standing there right beside the ref, and he's pointing straight to the corner. It's a good kick chase. This is where I think the Japanese are going to outdo Russia. It's the outside backs. It's especially through there that are going to be the big difference as well. If they can tee that up, keep it going, they could be into something to hit back. Goodness me.
They need to keep this game played at and run the Russians off their feet. Basically, let's be honest. That has always been Japan's real strength. Has been their playing their back around. This Russian will get tired. I would expect. Then again, that's got to be Japanese game. The Japanese game plan.
They're going to score here. I think Japan going straight through the left side again. It's that left edge has been very productive for them. Nakamura keeping it tight. Oh, James Morris, he's just jumped over about 4 players. Well, they're 2 metres short, really, on the left side. They swing it all the way out to the right. Oh, an offload of champions. It's going to be a reply try straight away. Outright it goes. Matsushima is in. Japan reply. And there we have our second try of the Rugby World Cup. I mean, there's a trivia question for you in about 10 years' time. Who scored the first ever try of the Rugby World Cup 2019? I bet you no one. Probably in half an hour we'll be able to say Ostrikov or Ostrishkov. Goodness me. But it's a reply straight away. Matsushima's in on the right. And that's more like it. That's what they want. They've hit straight back. And this is going to be a bit of a points fest, I think, if they keep this up. Territory ruling big time. This offload was the key. Who was that? That looked like Lafaeli. I think maybe we'll give the credit to Timothy Lafaeli for that offload out the back of the hand. He will get to see it. It was Lafaeli. Great ball from him. Popped out the back. And then a little basketball pass out the back of the hand over the top. Matsushima. Too good, too sharp, too finished, and he is in. Japan strike back. Let's get updating. Let's get updating because we're too far behind already.
That was a beautiful offload, wasn't it, out the back? Absolutely beautiful.
Sensational offload. Big difference maker right there. Tamura's got the chance to add the extras. It's up to 5 at the moment for Japan. We'll see if they can tie it all up. Make it 7 apiece. Look at that crowd, though. Look at the stadium. Look at the atmosphere that the Japanese bring to this game. Just phenomenal. The opening ceremony was pretty high standard, I thought. It was quite impressive. It was short, it was sharp. I mean, it didn't drag on, which was nice. And then straight to the game. Here we go. It's Tamura. Oh, that's an absolute shocker. Absolute shocker from Tamura. Way to the left. Hardly even got close. And Russia still lead. Russia in front. Keep that one nicely in the memory banks. Right, so the try was scored. These names are always a bit too long. It's going to have to be a copy-paste job, I think, to keep up with these try scores. Matsushima's got one. And the conversion was a straight. Oh, we'll put Tamura in there because he had the shot. So 0 from 1 for Tamura. There we go. Good work. Lovely stuff. For those of you who are wanting to know the scorers or how it is sitting right now, we'll swap that over to you. There you go. Left and right side. You've got Golensky on the right and Kushnarev with the conversion for Russia, and of course a try to Matsushima for Japan as they're off to a rumbling start here, the Japanese. Just about hitting straight back again. But there's points all over the place. Didn't think it would ever start like this, Paul. Didn't think it would ever start like this.
No, I didn't. And it's going to come down to, look, oh, wow. And we just had Leach just missed the restart on my one. But unfortunately, this is where the Russian tackling isn't and defence isn't good enough. They've allowed Japan to come all the way up to the halfway line. And you kind of say they had an opportunity there to pin Japan back, but they're going to need to get that defence up and put the pressure on.
Yeah, they need the territory, don't they? That's the big thing. It's already proven already that territory is is king. Is king indeed. What's happening in the chat? Let's catch up with the chat. 7-7 Taz, thanks. No, it's not 7-7 Taz. What are you talking about? It's 7-5. If Russia win this, it's the biggest upset of the Rugby World Cup 2019. Well, I mean, when there's only one game played, Dom, and it's the first game. I mean, no one can argue with you there. I mean, no one can say diddly squat about that. Yeah, good start though. I mean, Russia are putting in a great opening performance early on. You can't argue. Miss kick, Taz. Thanks for catching up. Good work.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that I'm just not convinced about this. Well, can Russia keep its defence up against the Japan side? So far, yes, they've come out well, but it's now a matter of now they've got this scrum on halfway. Can they go through the phases, keep hold of the ball, and make their way into Japanese half? That's what if we can see them do that, then we can see some promise for the rest of the game.
The other big point for them too is, 50 minutes time from now, even 40 minutes time from now, you know, Japan's going to have a much superior fitness over the Russians, but who knows how they're going to go. Let's just give them. I think they've deserved to get a bit more credit than we're probably giving these boys at the moment. So let's not write them off too much this year. I did not think I'd be sitting here celebrating a Russian try. Maybe I thought we might get one, but to have one so quickly and so early, brilliant. And Japan is struggling under the high ball. They are really struggling under the high ball. The box kicks coming in from the Russians is causing them headaches. And they just seem to not be able to take them. It's a surprise, really. I mean, I wouldn't have considered Tupou. I did question that when I saw the side. And Lemeki's not going to be the sort of guy that's going to go back and cover and count as a second sort of fullback from the wing. Puts a lot of pressure on Matsushima, I think. But we'll see how they go on. I don't know if they're quite expecting this from the Russians. Maybe this is a bit of a surprise. It's been a bit of a kicking jolt. Artemiev, good player. Pinpoint him. He's all over it. Good taker of the high ball. He's old school. The Russians are old school. They are the old style. You know, they're kind of stuck in the 80s. They've got a fullback that can catch the ball, and that's about it. And they just kick. Oh, here's a good overlap on the right-hand side. A little chip at the top. That looks like one. There's a big chap to know. It's their right winger. He is a big lad. He is a big lad. Davidov out there. He is a towering timber. You see him out there by himself. And he looked like he was a forward. He looked like a back rower. Kind of run like one too, which put me off a bit. The speed of a back rower. He trundled down the sideline. I thought, oh, that's a big game for a big man like him to be putting in a chip over the top. But not a bad effort. Not a bad little effort there.
No, and I'll tell you what this lag is doing is giving me some great slow-mo motions when it's actually live. It's like watching those computer games where it suddenly slow-mos a bit for you and you kind of... Oh,
I feel sorry for you tomorrow night. I do feel sorry for you tomorrow night.
Oh, well, tomorrow night I'm going to be at someone else's house, so that's okay. I've got a barbecue to go to tomorrow.
It's not Ashwin's house, is it? Because, I mean, that would be even
No.
That's all right, then. Because if anyone's going to have trouble with Spark, it's Ashwin. Oh, dear. Poor guy.
But Ashwin is having a barbecue.
Oh.
He's up in Auckland. I'm down in Hamilton. So, no, because I'm going to be at, as we've got a sort of drinks break now, I'll be at FMG Stadium tomorrow for Waikato versus Bay of Plenty in the Farapama Waikato versus Tasman in the Mitre 10 Cup. As I say, hipster rugby.
Yeah. No one knows what the Mitre 10 Cup is anymore. I mean, the World Cup is here, and Russia are leading after 17 and a bit minutes. Everything is right in the world, unless you're Japanese. I mean, there's probably a few
or your Paul stream, which is at 16 minutes and 54 seconds.
Japan are kicking away a lot, though. I'm surprised at this game plan, because this is playing sort of into the hands of the Russians.
Yeah, I'd expect Japan to keep the ball in hand and use the pace of their back. So kicking for territory is not what they need to do. Russia does, I agree, but Japan should be keeping it in hand.
I do agree. I mean, it's just aerial ping pong right now. Russia. Has he put a foot in touch there? He's done a damn good job. He has. Oh, the assistant referee's come across, and that is another mistake in the back from the Japanese. Matsushima going for the high ball. Probably should have left it going to touch. But he's... Oh, this is... Oh, that's great. That's great refereeing. That is superb refereeing, and he knew it too. Look at his face when he saw that going down. And he knew exactly what he had done. And it's all about Russia. Dom reckons that USA can do one versus France as well. Potential big upsets. Russia, Japan. We're witnessing it. USA, Argentina. Namibia,
USA versus...
Canada.
USA, France, no. USA, Argentina, yes. But that's only because they're playing England 4 days beforehand. Argentina, right.
The turnaround, it's going to be a big thing for the World Cup. The
turnaround's a big thing this World Cup, apart from Japan.
If they're playing like this, it's going to be a bit irrelevant what the turnaround is, because they look less convincing.
Well, true.
Russia is funding on the 22.
And you got to say, and until Japan actually start catching kicks, Russia just got to just keep bombing it into the 22, haven't they?
Oh, they're getting a bit fancy there, the Russians. It's not their style, it's not their game. And they've lost the ball, they've spilt it. And Japan, well now, are we going to see them run? I think Joseph's watching it. Joseph's got to be watching this. They've got smart enough coaches, the Japanese, that they'll know this game is going to change at halftime. Regardless of what the result is, I don't think this is going to stay the same for 80 minutes. Russia are just happy. In the 22, they're just going to smack that into touch. No problem. They are happy to do this. And Japan's playing right into the hands of the Russians at the moment. They're playing their style of game. They're playing a slow game. They're kicking it all the time. And they've gone quickly here. This could be an early chance for them. Little Tupou. He's had enough of being at fullback, and he's now trying to rumble it up himself. This is a bit of a stalemate game. I'm surprised after 20 minutes that we still sit at 7-5. Japan are getting a bit fancy. Oh, a couple of nasty grass cutter almost tackles there from the Russians. Digging down deep, taking them off at the knees. Can you argue here that the defense of the Russians is pretty solid? Oh, it's all falling to pieces now for Japan. They spill the ball again, and it's their hooker. Salsky has just been fantastic for the Russians. He's in everything. We've got the emergence of a new superstar hooker in world rugby, and he's Russian. Who thought would ever say that? Dorofeev is the man. His kicks are key. Well, that's a bit of a sky. There we go. Just gave him the ultimate curse there for shocking. Oh, Jesus. The shocking kick. Russia, they're not quite as sharp and awake to the opportunities that are presenting themselves, but they're somehow still struggling through this. The golf in class, I guess you could possibly say, is quite clear to see, but somehow Japan are allowing Russia to stay in this game. Well, that's a nice little step at the back. So Tamura's gone back. I think he's covering the kicks for the Japanese, which has changed their sort of platform a little bit because they're struggling to get anything from the ball. Oh, they've lost it. Oh, no. Referee won't let that one slide. Wrong French team turn up. Dom reckons the USA could do it. Look at Tamura. Oh, that is a nice little step. Just plants his left foot. And he lets the Russian inside centre, what's his name, Gersimov, just go sailing on a little boat, flying bait straight past him. I can't believe we're 21 minutes, 22 minutes into this game, and it's still Russia leading 7-5. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Under pressure, Japan. In their own half. They'll probably clear here with this penalty, so they'll be on the attack. Tamura's had a good little hand at this. Interesting stuff. Drinks break for me on that one.
Drinks.
This is exciting. I mean, what are we in store for tomorrow night, if this is anything to go by? Big thing for me, though. Conditions, flawless. Is there a better sort of carpet you could want to play on? It's going to make for a great World Cup if all the stadiums are like this, because this is just running rugby.
And also, as far as we can tell, there's no breeze either. So there's no excuse for some of these handling errors that we've been seeing, or some of the kicking that's from Japan in particular has been really just way. Whereas the Russian kicking, you can see why. And okay, they're also what they're trying to do with Japan, you just can't see. It's just straight down the middle to somebody. You're like, really? You're just trying to play. You just think you can kick further than Russia? Nah, that's not really. Playing pushback is really not what you'd think is Japan's style.
No. Oh, that is a monster of a tackle. You just missed that. It was a crunching hit by Ostrikov. He has just cut that man in half. But Japan are doing very well. They might be scoring here. That is. It's all come from nothing. A loose ball on the ground after Ostrikov cut a man in half. But I think we will be going back. Yes, we are. No, they're standing. Everyone's standing.
But Russia
back, there was a bit of excitement.
Russia are spending too much time in their own half here. They need to get out of their half, and once Japan start camping down here, always you say, yes, that big hit. Yeah, knock on. So the Russia need to just get in and stay in the Japanese half. As we said earlier on, this is very much a territory-based game.
Definitely is, and it's weird too because conditions like these, you wouldn't put that down to being such a territorial sort of game. You'd think this is going to be open, free-flowing. in your own 22, no matter, no problem. Just run, just have a go. I mean, the Russians, the Russians have missed near on 50% of their tackles. They've missed 10 out of 26, or 26 and 10 missed. What a stat! Yet they lead. I mean, that man there, the coach, who was just a part of this, he's got to be a pretty happy chappy. His team's doing the job. They're playing well. I mean, who's got the better game plan right now? The Russians all over this.
Absolutely, the Japanese game plan is just, and when you got coaches like Jamie George and Tony Brown, Jamie Joseph, sorry, Jamie George, English hooker, absolutely, he should coach Japan too. You got Jamie Joseph and Brown. Between the two of them, they are damn good coaches, and to see them come out and play this style of game while we have the Russian cosmonauts dancing. Just really does beg a belief.
It's a surprise, isn't it? It's a real surprise. This is what it's all
Aimless
about.
kicking, rather than it's yes, I know they're Russian fans. Yeah, smile, you're winning.
Well, they've got to clear this ball though. They're in their own 22. It's a bit of a dangerous part if they do mess this up. But it's the sort of style we expected. They're going one man off, straight to tackle, setting it up, and kicking straight off the base of that next ruck. It's simple rugby, but it's a rugby that Russia had to play. If they're going to stand any chance of this is the game they've got to play, because they're not going to beat anyone with the razzle-dazzle sort of Justin Marshall, Bullfar sort of play. They've got to take it back to basics. Let's go back to basics, and it's working for them. Japan are letting them play. They're doing well, but now they are under pressure. The hairdo on Shota Horia is just out of this world. Fancy plays there from the Japanese. They're getting into the inroads though. Lemeki, bit of a runner. Here's Horia. Look at him. Look at those locks. Fantastic to see him floating about. You know exactly where he is at all times. The Russian defence has been solid though. Japan going side to side. Here's Horia again. Easy ones to pick out in the middle of the park. It's like he's got a couple of ponytails off the side. Goodness me. Hawaii takes them into the 22. They're close now, Japan. They're getting a bit fancy now. They're starting to get confidence, I feel. The changing of the game. There's a good little run. That's a great turnover from Russia. And away they go. The number 8 storms upfield, stepping inside. He's got support there, and it's a try scorer. Covers a little chip ahead, looking to the corner. I mean, that right winger of the Russians, Davidov, is a lumberer. He's a real lumberer. I don't see how he plays on the wing, but we've just gone 5 metre line to 5 metre line here. Russia right back on the attack. They have lost the ball, though. Great work. Golonitsky is having a storming game for the Russians. His break alongside Vavelin. They're setting up, and the game is just twisted. Spectacularly, Japan just managed to clear it out from, again, inside their own goal. And just managed to get it outside their 22. Great turnover, charging in there. Gadzev goes through. Vavelin steals it off the floor. Just blew them straight off the breakdown, and then one little pull. Back inside. Golonitsky slips in, puts in a little grubbly sort of ball. Filthy little pass. Davidov chases. He's a funny little player. What's number 14? Not quite sure where he thinks he's supposed to be on the field. 14's on his back, but he's probably the most ambling winger I've seen in all my time. But he made a good tackle. He chased the ball well. They could have got a turnover there. Man, that was excitement central possibility for the Russians, who are stunning the rugby world at the moment. They really are. 3 turnovers to 1. What a stat. The Russians are the breakdown. To putting this game to bed. This is great from the Russians. Can you believe it? They've got the line out just outside the 22. Right on the 22, actually. Set piece. Working like a glove. Magic stuff. A little set play into the back line. The number 12, Gerasimov is really the crash ball player. A little bit of ping pong. Oh, it's gone backwards. Japan playing a little razzle-dazzle now as well. As he goes away to Lemeki, who's way off his wing. I don't know what he's quite doing over there.
It's like when you're one of your computer games when you've got your only one player. You take it, you're running all over the pitch.
Well, you have to. You have to do that. It's all turning to custard pretty quickly. He's on the right-hand side, and he's up on the left winger. What is he doing? It's all Japan, though, struggling.
Oh, dear.
Who's spamming the chat? What a clown. Get out of here, clown. Get out of here. There you go. See you later. It's all Russia, though. Let's get back to it. It's all about stream maintenance at the moment, isn't it? It's all about stream maintenance. Oh, here we go. Russia. More chances for them. Inside the Japanese half still. They've got the line out. Works at the back. It bounces nicely for them. They're going to keep kicking. Oh, here's a little delicate chip over the top. Magical work. Here's some more chance for them. Going through the middle. Get the pass away. Could have been another one. Who was running through there? Ostrako. Just about setting them alight. It's hard to keep up with these Russian names. They're so long and so Kovi and Oshi. They're going to lose this. Oh, they just hang on to that. Nicely done. Short side for Russia. They're in the 22. They are right here again. One little play, one little chip over the top. Beautifully claimed too. Gasimov has been amazing. And the man we talked about at the start, Kushnarev. Sensational. Just sensational. We are almost half an hour in.
We are. And as... Yeah, this if Japan play like this against Ireland and Scotland, they're going to get thumped.
They've lost the ball.
Let's be blunt.
Japan get it back, and they just kick. They just kick as ugly and as desperate as they can. It's not found touch though. Artemiev, no, it's not. It's oh, he's gone into touch. Is he out? Is he still in? I think he's still in. Hold the phone. There's no line out. No, there is a line out. Again, more excitement almost happening there. Kushnarev has been in everything. Absolutely everything. Playing at fullback, run it back. Just about saved himself from going in touch. See a replay of this fantastic little break though. Who would have thought we'd seen this from Russia? Beautiful little chip through. Gasimov does brilliantly to find a support in it. It's who else but Golonitsky, who's been in everything as well. I mean, if we were to stop this game right now and say standout players in this game, they're all going to be Russian. Because there's no one from Japan who's even stood up here at all.
Absolutely. It's very poor from Japan. And sorry, I've just restarted my computer to try and sort my issues out.
I think you might need to get some better Spark broadband there, Paul. Or maybe I know what it is. You're on Vodafone. That could be the problem. Anyway, it's still Russia. What do you want?
I've got no idea what I'm on because I'm in a flat. I'm flatting with somebody, so they do this. No, sorry, what am I doing? Spark.
Russians keep trying this kicking game though. It's still Japan can't hold on to the ball. It was a box kick. They went straight up in the air. Leach goes up for it. Just completely missed. The kicking game is bamboozling the Japanese, which is a massive surprise. And Russia more than happy to just continuously keep kicking. A little bit of fancy footwork in the back there from Tomorrow. Now, they get little Tupos. Get a nice little punt on them. We're half an hour into this game. It's still 7-5 Russia. I predict this one to be a 33-point win for the Japanese. Ooh, a little bit of a nasty fling there from Ivalu on the Russian player, but they persevere, passing it to no one. Going backwards a bit here, Russia, but they somehow find something out of it. Good little run. And it's their number 12, but they are going to keep hold of this. They do keep hold of it. Japan all over the breakdown. They can't find the ball on their side. Again, no protection around their breakdown. They still get the box kick away. Japan have a lot of areas they need to improve on in this match if they're going to get anything out of it. They talked about bonus points before the game kicked off. They're not going to get anywhere near that the way this is going. It is all Russia, but here's a big run. Lafaeli, he is the danger man. Tamura's there with him. They try to hold him up, but he's definitely on the ground there. Knees are down from Tamura. He manages to just survive. Could we see a Japanese lead before the break? Would certainly wake the crowd up. Who are probably still enjoying the occasion.
No, he's knocked it on.
Oh, he's lost it. I mean, some this game
Okay,
up.
I've caught up with you now.
Japan can't catch a ball. What's going on? Is he playing advantage or is he actually given the penalty? I'm not quite sure. Surely they'll go back there. They will.
So it's just a knock on. Kicking it through like that was, he was lucky that normally when you kick a ball and it's only a scrum advantage, you can quite often, he'll shout advantage gone. But lucky there that he didn't. Obviously, admittedly, he kicked it straight to a player. to a Japanese player. But yes, so scrum to Russia, just outside their 22. And this is, and you can see the Russians, a lot of Russian players, hands on knees. Yeah, they've put in a massive effort, but it's starting to look like, especially their forwards, they're going to struggle to go the 80.
Question will be though, how good is their bench? I mean, we would have said at the start of this game that it won't matter if they're on their bench or whether they're starting, if they're going to be good enough for this game. But if the bench can keep up this this tempo, they could be in for one hell of a matchup. Well, we've got Noah Prodigy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about in the chat? Show the match. Do you realise the Rugby World Cup is a pay-to-watch event? The second I turn this on for you to watch, the second the stream stops. We already talked about this. How many streams? Tens and tens of streams have already been shut down trying to show this game. It's not going to happen. I will give you nice little updates. I'll talk crap with Paul about it. We'll talk about what's going on. We'll give you some live commentary. But we can't show you the damn match. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You keep up to date. The score is 5-7. I'm pretty sure it's showing 5-7. It is. Look, there and there. Over there on that side there.
Yep, 5-7, 31 minutes gone. We've got next up is a Russian scrum just outside the 22 on their right-hand side. So this is going to be an important play. Russia really needs to go in at half-time up, which means they need to get down the other end of the field and keep Japan down there. As you said, when they spun it wide, was it Raphael, the 12 or 13 for Japan? He's the guy that's the danger man, and it's so when they get that width. Now that we've got these Russian forwards tiring, and they're not tracking across as quickly as they were before.
Yeah, that's what's going to be all about, match fitness. How will they go? Can they hang on, Russia?
Boom. Smart. There's a big clearance. Can Japan actually claim this kick?
Oh,
and no. Again, they drop it.
I was about to say, they've got 4 guys standing there in a little line. How can they not catch the ball? This is remarkable, poor catching.
You know what Russia's going to do. I mean, they've been doing it all game now, and you can see that Japan have adapted to that. They've dropped more players back from the defensive line, but they just can't catch the ball.
No, they can't catch a cold out there. They'll be ill. They'll be all going home because this is terrible from Japan. 5-7. Yep, Zach's got it on point. If you're in New Zealand, watch it on TV1. TV1. Who even watches TV1 anymore these days?
Look, now Beaver's been saying that Japan's problem is the fact that it's a night game. They're used to playing in the daytime. They're not used to the dew. Really, come on now. At this level, they really need to. Surely they've been training. I mean, look, we've been using baby oil. We've been using shampoo. We've been using washing up liquid. It's not about, you can't blame a slippery ball.
That was a good shoulder. Good shoulder on that replay. Yeah, you're spot on. Japan, I mean, it's the same for both teams, isn't it? And they've actually already got their reserve scrum half on. I've just seen number 21. Perov is on.
HIA.
Oh,
HIA.
I didn't miss that. Must have been getting excited about people who watch the stream. I've lost my brain.
But when you, look, the tale of the last sort of 15 or so minutes has been Russia kicks it, Japan drops it, collects it, runs it up, knocks it on, scrum, Russia win the ball, kick it up, and repeat, rinse and repeat. And that's, Japan have got to keep hold of this ball through phases. They can't do 3 phases and not get on.
Play there, out on the full.
And we've talked about this being a territory game. That's a massive mistake from them.
He's not too happy, and no one wants to see an angry Russian. Agony on the face. That's the first mistake. I mean, the first mistake they've actually made.
That's the agony of radiation poisoning. That's how allegedly they killed off a couple of the spies in England. No? Okay.
No, we're not getting political. Don't want to know.
4, 5, 6 tackle. There we go. 5 missed tackles there. Yeah, it's just a matter of Japan keeping through. But no, it's just. Did he drop it there? Oh, I thought he did. Nope.
The pace difference is remarkably to see. The Japanese playing at a lot
Yes.
higher tempo, but they can't hold on to the ball. So if they keep holding on to that...
Oh, here we go. The offloads are working now. They've got the broken break, and he's going to be in the corner. Yep, there he goes.
Waiting for the pass. Who is it? Who else? Matsushima once more. 2 tries for the man on the right wing, and that will make it nice and easy for me to edit because it's the same guy. I like that. More tries, please, Matsushima. Yep, Lafaele, we talked about him just before, didn't we? Are we checking this? We are checking this. We're going upstairs. Here we go. Let's get the controversies out. I think he's pretty safe. He looked pretty safe to me on the first glance. It was going to be... He was in from touch, which I would imagine that's what they're checking. Let's give Matsushima a second try.
Basketball pass.
They're looking for the sideline.
Ooh. He's dropped that.
He's dropped it. Has he? Cool. Oh, let's... Oh, super... Oh, he has.
That
He's
is...
lost that oh, I mean, has that left his hand? That's the big question. They talk about whatever the actual word is, but it's a connection. Yes, he's lost control.
Yes, he clearly hasn't.
But has he separated?
Yeah, he's lost control, but it's not about control. It's about whether he has contacts all the way down. And separation there, then he gets it back again. Ooh, that's a 50-50 call. I would be happy either way.
Letter of the law, I don't think there was a separation there. Common sense, he's knocked it on.
Common sense says knock it on, but can you see separation? I say, this is a 50-50 call. I'm happy with it. I think this can go either way.
I agree. I haven't seen separation, but...
No, he's lost it forward. There you go. Yep, missed. He's disallowed the try. Let's call it back. There we go.
Well, there you go, Russia.
Whoa.
Luck. Well, I better get rid of Matsushima's little second ×2 there. Goodness me, poor fella. Just one. So Russia still hang on. Look at the crowd, though. It's a highlight of what this World Cup's going to be, is the crowd is going to be fantastic. Lafaele's the key man. His offloading game, brilliant. His breaking tackle game's brilliant. Support play of the back rows who are sensational. We know what guys like Lapas Lavasage are all about. We know what Michael Leach is all about. Those guys are key. But they just finally show what they can do if they hang on to the ball. That's the difference. That's a tough call. Have we made a line here?
On their try and also on this one has been when they've got one offload away and they've got that, so they've got basically mega fast ball and they've got a broken Russian defence. That's when they cause the problems. They can get that one offload. That's all they need. The scramble Russian defence is just and just.
That's a tough call. That's a really tough call. It is remains though. 7 points to 5. Russia hanging on by a thread. How long can they keep doing this? Will they lead into half-time? What does the chat reckon? I was just having a look in. Downward pressure. James thought it was a try. Pressure definitely there. Yep, no one scored that one, Ted. Sorry. Matsushima went over, but called back. Under immense pressure here, the Russians.
Oh, lucky that charge down. My word.
I think, do they have anyone that's not around that ruck at the moment? They're 5 metres out from their own line. They've got the ball, but they are really playing good old-fashioned Southland rugby at the moment. It is just pick and goes, and they are going straight into the first defender they see to set it up again. They've got to kick this away. Does this replacement, what's his name? Piriv, does he have this? Oh, no, he doesn't have the same box kick.
He does not.
Oh, dear me. I mean, they need to get Dorofev back on there. That was a key part of their game, that box kick. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. He really made a hash of that. He double went. Oh, you've got to commit. You've got to make up your minds. You've got to go for it. You can't.
No, okay, yes. Now, there's Nigel Owen. Actually, doing this, faking that you've taken the ball out to get people offside is illegal. And he's just been told.
I mean, big stage. This is remarkable. The big stage, Russia, all the talk. Well, no one said they shouldn't be there, but all the talk about how they've really been here to make up the numbers. I mean, this 40 minutes, opening game of the World Cup. Shut up. Anyone saying otherwise. This has been fantastic from them in this opening 40 minutes. They've been the better team. They've played a game plan. They've stuck to it. They've taken chances. They've looked strong with the ball. They've looked strong everywhere. The Russian fans, look at that. You've seen the bucket head. Now we've got the space head, or whatever the hell that was.
The cosmonauts.
The what?
Cosmonauts.
Cosmonauts.
Yes, that's what. So you have astronauts in America and you have cosmonauts in Russia.
And is that what they're cosmonauts?
No.
Well done. Well, we'll keep hold of that one for next
Yes.
time Russia play. I think we might have to do every Russian match from here on in now. We are eking ever closer to half-time. We've got so much going on.
Oh, I love Scotty Stevenson's in-depth there. Japan keep dropping the ball and that's playing into the hands of Russia. Yeah, really? Playing into the hands of any other team.
Give the guy a break. He's commentating with Steve McDonald, who's a fairly big playing guy. Jeez. Better not be too mean. He's a legend. He's an icon. What can the Japanese do, though? Can they get a grab try here? They've got 3 minutes or so to do something special. Oh, passing not going to hand. It's not rocket science here, is it, for Japan? Give the ball to Lafaele. He's got to be your first receiver. If he's not your first receiver, he's got to be your second receiver. You just get someone to catch it and pass it to him. He's the only man that's...
I mean, seriously, you're trying to play one-out rugby against Russia. I mean, of all... Look, they've got a pack. They like wrestling, okay? Just like Georgia to a certain degree. So it's... Yeah. We're going to go sideline to sideline to sideline to sideline. Really stretch them, make them run around. And you've got this game. But Japan... This must be the first time they've got over about 9
they're
phases.
not going forward.
And they're going backwards. They're not going anywhere, you're right. It's all slow ball. They're not going anywhere. It's all one-out rugby. It needs to be going out. 2 or 3 passes. Here we go, out to the wing.
Lafaele, that's the man. He's got it out, and Lemeki's charging through. But they hold him up. I mean, they've lost so much ground. They lost a good 20 metres in about 4 phases, where they just went one out to a little pot of forwards. And they're going back to it again as well. They've got to smarten it up.
It's the wrong play. They've got to smarten it up, and they've got to spin it wide.
Lemeki's been good, but he's fed nicely off Lafaele as well. Shot a Horrier, he's the man. Now they skip it out. Now they got the chance. It's away to Matsushima for the corner. This will be the try. They will not stop him here. 13 phases in. And Matsushima finally gets try number 2. He's had a second attempt at it. That is the one they will want, Japan. And that will send them into the break with a slender lead over Russia. Words I did not think I'd be saying for the last few months looking at this game.
No, absolutely. We thought, but this is the kind of thing that this is the kind of score that sort of breaks the resolve. We could see, but what we got there, we've got an offload out of the past 15 there. Didn't need to come in. The player was already tackled. He should have stayed in his man. Instead, he comes in and see the offload out the tackle, and over he goes into the corner. That's all their disallowed try and their other score that they scored has come with and that's all Japan need. Spread it wing to wing and look for an offload where it's on.
The conversion is good. Japan had the extra 2, and they will have a restart though. It's the width on the ball. It's the offloading game, isn't it? It was another fantastic offload. That was the key. But you say the defender should have stuck on his man. I did like the commitment there by that Russian player, just diving at the it's Matsushima in the corner. Don Butler's calling a forward pass. I mean, do your best Russian impression there, Dom. Forward pass. Still 5-7. No! We are just editing this right now. Good sir, Japan have just scored, Lorenzo. And we will go scoreline. It was converted, which makes it 12 points to 7. 40 minutes is up. This will be the final play of the first half. And again, Russia just all over the kicks, aren't they? All over the kicks, all over the high balls defensively, and that is it. And that is it. It is half time.
Now, isn't it great how they got the gong rather than the hooter? Got to love that. Nice little Japanese touch.
You got to love the culture. The way that they embrace the culture is fantastic in Japan, and that's what you're going to see a lot of in this Rugby World Cup. But let's start, though. Half-time it is. 12 points to 7 it is. The last minute sort of try to the Japanese. Matsushima scoring them both in that first half, where it was on the other side, Golnitsky for the Russians, picking up their only points, their only try. I don't think we could have, in our wildest dreams, thought that it would ever be this close, can we, Paul? I mean, if I told you before this game it would be 12.7 at half-time, I could think some of choice words that you would have said to me.
Yes, clearly we did not expect it to be 12-7 at half-time. If we look at how this happened, we had a mistake, didn't we, for that really allowed that Russia got that try early on and had that territory. And then once Japan stopped they kept on dropping the ball, but they ended up having so many men back there that it didn't even matter. They could drop the ball and they could still get an exit. And once they got that sorted out, really Russia was struggling to get territory. And they've not had territory in the last for the last 10, 15 minutes of that half. We've seen the forwards get their hands on their knees, looking a bit tired. So it wasn't look like, kickoff, yeah, we expect Russia to march it down or do a big break to score. Nah, we couldn't. They didn't look like they were going to be doing that. Japan, the only reason that they haven't scored more tries really is A, they're dropping the kicks to them, and B, the knock-ons. The first time they get themselves in double figures of phases, they score, which is what caused that score out wide at the end there. If they spread wide, get the offloads going, then they're playing at a pace that these Russians just can't keep up with, unfortunately.
And that's the game plan that everyone would have expected them to play it from the start, to use that width, to use those outside backs like Matsushima, who's got the 2 tries. We spoke a lot about Lafaeli, who's been a massive part of the Japanese play. His breaking tackle ability, his offloading has been instrumental to them. But what's, I think, been the most disappointing is their key players, I think, have not really stood up for them. Especially that back row that we probably thought would certainly be able to outmaneuver, or probably outpace and outmuscle to some extent by using their agile abilities at the breakdown and places like that. But Russia certainly have been very, very competitive in that sort of open, expansive play area, getting to the breakdowns, securing their ball, making a mess of the Japanese rucks as well, which is, I think, being the surprising part of this game.
It has. I mean, Russia, we didn't expect Russia to be winning the ruck, let's be honest. And we saw at one point, was it 3 turnovers to 1? They've managed to, on the whole, slow down that Japanese ball. They've managed to push when Japan have played one out rugby. They've managed to knock them back, and they've played on the whole very well within their limited ability. To be fair,
they have indeed. It's been a surprise, but it's been a very pleasant one. Definitely has
pleasant surprise. Yeah.
Now we do have some nice little presents. Now I know you're not watching the stream, Paul, but we can quickly do some nice switching over here, because our good friends at ESPN Scrum or whatever they call themselves these days have got some stats from the first half that we could have a nice little look at here. So look at that, choppy with a magic man around here. We're going to use their stuff, of course. What's the interesting stats that we can see from this game? Japan's had, surprisingly, I don't know if I would have called this, but you're looking about 60-40 on both possession and territory to the Japanese, despite what I thought was a pretty dominant opening most of that half by Russia, where they really shut the Japanese out on both those accounts.
Well, they did. I think they did the first 20 minutes. But that last half, Japan has spent a lot of time in the Russia half, but which has been a problem. But no, had their time in Russia, but they say they're just not. But they say they're just not. They've too much anything with it. Those sort of stats don't really. Surprise me. It'll be interesting to see what their what the tackle stats are. Because say Russia
tackles. Well, I mean, before we get to tackles, defenders beaten, which is a pretty similar one, 26-6. That is a comprehensive stat. 26.
As missed tackles. Okay,
sitting at 64%.
It's the same stat.
47 out of 73 tackles are the Russians.
That is appalling. Put bluntly. Japan are percent to theirs, but the kick, wasn't it, that allowed the tries. So it's been Japanese. Sure. Jump those errors, as Russia did, to score their try. But the turnovers in the half 12. If we continue that way, turn every 2 minutes, and that is a lot of turnovers in a game. It's not. I see the whistlers say penalties in the entire half. It felt like there was a couple more than that, but that's Nigel Owens is letting.
Yeah, that is quite surprising, isn't it? Just 3 penalties. Very clean first half. And I mean, it doesn't look. If you looked at the stats here at half time, and you'd say to yourself, this isn't a close game. If you took that top line, which is a score, out of it, you'd say this isn't even a close game at all. All those missed tackles, clean breaks is relatively close, but meters run is massively more to the Japanese. Russia playing that, as we talked about, kick from hand, 26-19. Passes are less than half. They're running a lot less as well. That's what we expected, but I think the way that the Japanese are just not finishing their chances has been woefully poor. A lot of stats, just not giving Russia, I don't think, enough credit.
Stats here. 26 kicks is the number of kicks that you can. Some sides will do in an entire game. They have kicked the. It's been that passing though. 46 passes to 51 runs to. Have only had any, but they've made some. Which Japan are playing with a lot more width than Russia. Russia are playing extremely. It's always one out rugby. As you said, they're 14. He is just so lumbering. What's the point in trying to get it out to him? He's very good defensively. That's fine, but that's what he is. So Russia, you can see in those passing and run stats, they're playing narrow and they're kicking it a lot. Japan have returned quite a few kicks, but they're playing more expansively and even though we've seen them play a lot of one-out rugby, even so they're still playing more expansively than Russia in their offloads 8-1. Again, that shows you that Japan are trying to get that fast ball. Russia taking into contact in pods of forwards. The set piece has been good on both sides. But some interesting ones there. Just going to quick look at the player stats.
Who's been the standout?
Come on.
Player stats. Matsushima, 10 points. Can't argue.
Managed with 10 points, 7 runs, 47 metres. Pretty good. The other player, obviously, is Lafayette, which we've been talking about. 8 runs. He's got the most run metres of any player in the game. Himeno, number 8 for Japan, 51 metres, 8 runs. That's a pretty impressive, a good shift from him as well. Looking on the Russian side, as you'd expect, quite a few carries from their forwards. I mean, pretty much every one of their forwards carried it at least 3 times. Lots of forwards trucking it up for very few metres. The Ostrakov, 38 metres. He's 38 metres. He's been pretty. Had a couple of good breaks, but that's been about it. Defensively, the interesting one. This is where Labrouchange, is that his name? The flanker for Japan has done through his work, but served that forward pack. Ingaki nine tackles, or the hooker 8 tackles. So they've been doing their work. The problem for I think I've just set a power cut there for a second. And the problem for is their fly half for missed 4 tackles, and then the 12 jersey you can run through that 10-12 channel at ease, which is what basically you can do it against Russia. That's a real problem. They're needing to cover that a lot. But that's probably why we're seeing Japan stay narrow. They've seen a problem with that 10-12 combination. There's a weakness there defensively. But I think I'd rather see Japan playing to their strengths rather than trying to pick out Russia's weaknesses.
And I mean, we talked about it but before at the early point of the game, and that the Japanese have very strong coaches, very, very intelligent coaches, very smart coaches that would have seen a lot more than we've seen from our, pathetic little peasant eyes that are watching from this side of things. So they will pinpoint a lot of stuff, and I think they're going to be a different side in the second half. Not too much other stats to really pick on here from the two sides. You've pretty much nailed everything there. I think we're going to see a different Japan in the second half. That's what I can think from that. They're going to go back to that strength, go back to what they've been good at. Give the ball to Lafaele, let him run, sit on his shoulder, and get off his offloads. That's all you need to do. How far are we away from getting back underway? We're watching ads, paying the bills. Not many ads going on around.
No, I'm watching the moment. And he's saying that that Russia are defending narrowly, and that Japan needs to be spreading it wide. So they're going to those pods. Japan do. They're going to those pods and they're charging it up into that crowd.
So what they're trying to achieve here, Japan, is the pass to come off the forward in the middle, to Tamura attack on the outside, get this last Russian defender.
Get the stats right.
Come off the shoulder and get into space.
The stats right.
That's what they're
One
trying
of
to
two.
do. The Russians have defended it pretty well on this occasion.
There we go. For anyone interested in the situation at half-time, 12 points to 7. Paul's getting an inside word from the coaches. But we've got 2 tries to Matsushima for the Japanese. 1 out of 2 conversions from Tamura. And for the Russians on that side, you can see Golonitsky with the try and Kushnerev with the conversion. 12 points to 7. It is a close one. It is an exciting one. It's the opening game of the Rugby World Cup, and I mean, it got off to an exciting start. I mean, you could go back to that opening little stanza we watched when Russia were brilliant. They were off the bow straight into the game. No one expected it. I didn't expect it. We didn't expect to see it, but it was a fantastic little piece of excitement, wasn't it? I mean, Russia have come to play.
It's very exciting. They have come to play, but you look at them play and you can't see how they're going to score if Japan don't make some more mistakes.
Yep.
Right, because their try came because of a drop ball. So you've got to say they'll be looking for trying to force those Japan mistakes again, which means get those kicks up because they have just not coped with those. Right, I'm going to try and find some power for my phone so I can keep Skyping you and be back with another glass of wine.
Right, I will nullify you. I will relegate you away, and we'll count down the time back to get the second half underway. Of course, thanks to everyone for tuning in and watching. It's been a fairly large, rather crowd have come and said hello and tuned in and joined in. If you can't see the game, this is your place to be. Of course, we're going to have what you're seeing right here on my left and on my right. Score lines, we're going to have try scorers. We're going to be talking about what's happening. We're going to get excited when the Russians do something special. And, of course, when the Japanese do as well. We're going to be doing plenty of games. Kick has just asked, am I streaming live the game or am I just doing this? We're just doing this. You can't stream the actual game, Kick, or else the stream will get just shut down in about 3 seconds flat because it's pay for TV. So you can't do that. You can't get away with that. What else we got comments going on? Let us know what you're thinking of the game out there in comments land. And we'll have a bit of a chat about what you guys think about the match as well. George says they're applying pressure with their high balls. Yes, you can't argue with that, George. The Russian kicking game is phenomenal. It's been brilliant. They've made that one mistake. Who was it? I think it was Gerasimov who kicked it out on the full. One error is all they made. So they'll be pretty happy with how their kicking game's going. And, I mean, like we just spoke about, it's putting pressure back on the Japanese. They're not dealing with the kicks. And in turn, it's becoming a successful thing for them. Thanks for doing it, says directed by, no worries. We'll be here for every big game. Tomorrow, we have the South Africans, obviously, taking on the New Zealanders, the All Blacks, the Springboks. That is the big one from, well, I mean, it's one of the big ones, isn't it? Because we've got the French and the Argentinians. We are back underway, Paul. Welcome back. Second half has kicked off. And it is now the Russians who are receiving the ball. And straight away, nothing has changed. The same game plan is sticking straight to it. We'll chuck you back over, Paul. We'll have you sitting on the sideline. And it's a great kick return coming in here from Japan as they set the second half for light. Himino with a strong run from number 8. His wine sounds very nice. A Lupio pass away to Lemeki on the left wing, doing something exciting. Has been Lemeki. He's a danger. Lafayette and Lemeki, those two guys looking to be key for the Japanese. Flat passing. Getting away with a bit here. As a ref has allowed that one to slide. A couple. Oh, Horia. He's got the throw going. And he's also got the lucky hands going. It's Japan. Lucky bounce of the ball. A bit of confusion in the back there from Russia. Isolated player at the back. There's about 4 Japanese on him very quickly. In trouble. Russia, but they're somehow managed to get back and hold on to that. 2 players about to collide. And they've managed to get out of each other's way just in the nick of time. And now they're playing the good old-fashioned pick-and-go rugby again. This is Russian rugby. And the box kick.
Here comes the box kick, as you'd expect. But I mean, Himeno, he was one of the guys we talked about at half-time with lots of runs, meters. And look, Japan, 4 players in the backfield waiting for that kick. Now they've not dropped the last couple. Himeno again making good yards, breaking tackles, getting back up again. This is going to be a problem for Russia now. If Japan start holding on to those kicks, they've got 4 players back there to attack with. It's becoming too predictable.
Yep, but what are they going to do? They don't have a plan B, Russia. I don't think they do have a plan B. And they've got to keep at it. Himeno's looking rather impressive. He's getting really into the game. Strong run, as you talked about there. Charging through tackles, going down, placing the ball, getting back up, having another go. Strong character, as he is a strong game as well. Probably not the favourite to start in that position in their back row. They've got quite a bit of depth in there as well, but doing a great job. The Russians are making an error as they try to fight back at what Himeno's run. It'll be a scrum to Japan. I mean, the try here for the hosts would be devastating to the Russians. They fought hard, but it doesn't look like they're going to probably hang on too much longer, does it? The Japanese are starting to get confidence in their game, and you can tell the way they're offloading and playing with a bit more intent than they were. They look confident, I guess. That is going to be the big thing for their game.
Yeah, I mean, getting that lead meant they could calm down a bit, because in the first sort of 15 minutes they looked really nervy. They did sort of calm down a bit towards in that first half, but the coach would have sat them down at half time, told them, look, you've got a lead. Just play to our strengths, spin it wide, use Heino to get over that game line, and then look to kick in behind with those little grubbers. Is what appears to be the tactic. I expect this one to go. I know it's been crashed up. I thought he'd go wide, but no. But not rolling away means they've got this will be either an easy 3 or they're going to go for a corner.
Yeah, neither team's been too keen on kicking the 3s, have they? They've gone straight for the corner, which, I mean, I wasn't surprised with from the start, but I feel as this game wears on, it's definitely something that the Sud side's going to have to look to. If it's going to stay like this, if Japan can't start to get a bit of a stranglehold, they're going to have to look for the 6.
And Japan have gone for the 3. Get the scoreboard ticking over. Build up some confidence early in the second half, and it's the right choice to make. There's still plenty of time for them to score 2 more tries and get that try bonus point, because they have to come out of this game with that try bonus point if they really want to try and qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, they need their bonus point massively, don't they? It seems a long way away, but what do you take more? you got to take the win more than anything, and it will hurt their chances if they don't come away with this bonus point, because they'll be looking at Scotland, firmly looking at Scotland, and I'm looking firmly at Scotland as well, because that last match of the pool stage is, that's what it's all about for them. They've got up their lead though, 15 points to 7, and we can fix things up.
No, but it's just the confidence of seeing that scoreboard ticking over really will keep them calm, keep them heading in the right direction, keep them happy. So taking a couple of threes early in this half is the right thing to do. It'll apply to the Russians. It means they now know that they're 2 scores out. And the Russians have to try and push it a bit more. Will they have to actually try keeping the ball it away? And if so, seeing them try and play out their own half, I think would be a massive mistake for Russia, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know the chances of them doing anything too special here. They've got to rely on more mistakes, but you can see the way that they're taking on that ball there. Straight into it goes Lemeki. He knows what to do. He's putting his body on the line. He's getting straight up. And the game has changed considerably after halftime. Japan look like a changed team. This is what we probably expect from them coming out of the half as well, or coming out of the match, I should more say, but still kicking, which is a bit of a surprise. Ooh,
but the difference in the kicking. The difference in the kicking is that kick was contestable, right? In the first half, they were kicking deep down the middle, trying to find grass and trying to play a territory game against Russia. Now, you're seeing that each of these kicks are contestable kicks with the wingers getting up there. So they've changed their kicking tactics. Yes, they are still kicking, but it's a different style of kicking.
Artem just got cut in half by some strong defence. I think they've lost a bit when they had the replacement scrum half on as well. I noticed that the starter is back on. Zadorofev is back on after half time, so he must have passed his.
That was a poor chip. He's passed his HIA. He's back on the pitch. Real poor chip there by Japan. I know they're trying to turn this Russian defence, but that was wasteful ball.
And so I'm surprised. I wouldn't think they'll be running out of ideas so quickly. I'd expect them to be a bit more patient, especially just close after halftime as well. But Russia attacking on halfway, they're kind of not too fluent in the backline plays, as they're just handing it to players in a somewhat worse position than themselves. As the box kick's gone up again from Russia, and it's straight up, pretty much a pass to the winger. But a great chance here for them. So they break on the left-hand side. It's that same man. He is amazing. Golonitsky is the man to watch.
Oh, he's been stripped. He's been stripped. Can the big fella go all the way?
Here's the run chase.
He can.
Labuschagne stays away. What a ball. What a play. What a run.
Flop on it. There we go.
And that is a real dagger in the hearts of the Russians. Ripped away from Labuschagne, and away he goes. 50-metre scamper by the open side flanker, sweeping aside the average tackle from Kushnerev, and in for the try. That's what they've been waiting for. It's been a long time coming. Man and tackle.
That was a real old-fashioned number 10 tackle, wasn't it? I don't really want to catch you and tackle you.
I'll just fall over and pretend to hit your spooks.
Yes. I nearly got his ankles, fellas. I nearly got his ankles. No, you were nowhere near him.
And he just buried his head in the mud as well. He did not want to know about it. Didn't want to know.
Yes. Leave me alone.
Well, there we go. Japan's got what they wanted. It's taken a long time, but that will give them the confidence that they would have wanted and needed to continue on. Another try. That puts them up to 20 with
another misconversion.
And what's an absolute shocker. That was very similar to his first. Tamura having a nightmare out there off the tee.
Where's Hayden Parker when you need him, right?
Well, they can see the funny side of it. Tony Brown's not too impressed. He's tapping the
No,
side.
he's not. But I say, there has been some a big change in that coaching setup, though, because Tony Brown is wearing his flat cap again after wearing a silly baseball cap for the South Africa game. There must have been a marketing thing, because all the coaches were wearing a baseball cap for that South Africa game. But yes, he's got his flat cap back on, and Japan are starting to play well. I tell you, it's not a coincidence.
The flat cap's the answer. That's the difference between the two sides.
Absolutely.
They're playing on a different side now. Tupou's up into the line, crashing as they charge him out of the 22. Here comes the kick. It's a high one, like you talked about
Again,
before.
it's a high one. They let it
This is
bounce,
going to be
but
another chance. Lafaeli down the right side. He's just pulled down. The ball's come out. They squirted it out. Lavasanche wanted a second. And
I'm loving this. I'm 5 seconds ahead of you at the moment.
yeah, whoa, 5 seconds. Jeez.
I know what happens before you say
What's
it. It's
going on,
brilliant. It's like,
Spark? Come on. I'm supposed to be the favourite. And now it's Russia who don't want to catch the ball. The man that's been impressive all night long, Golonitsky, didn't want a bar of it. And where did this ball squirt free? Oh, it's come out of his hands. Lafaeli claiming, I don't know what he's quite claiming there.
well, yes.
It was knocked back.
Yeah, 15. The 15 player does get his does get his hand on it, but then again, it touches his Japan player again before it goes forwards, and therefore, yeah, it should be a Russian lineup.
Exactly. Nice attempt, though. He's been the best player in the Japanese shirt, Lafaeli, no question about that. He's got to be the key for them.
Totally.
Not tomorrow, Lemeki, the other guy.
3 points. 3 points on the Dwayne Monkley medal for him.
What competition is that?
Hipsters, I tell you, hipsters. A lot of them.
Oh, dear. What can Russia do? Here we go. Set piece brilliance. They got a scrum. Let's see them go length of the field, eh? Let's see.
Right, okay.
David Dole, the number 14. That's the man I
Number
want
8
to see.
looks back inside, and there's not even a player there. See, that's the kind of thing that that's the difference between these sides.
The Japanese side.
Through his legs, trying the old Pacific Islands Sevens play there.
Was that a knock on? Was it backwards?
Is he going to get held up?
It's advantage to Russia.
Okay. Russia. No, advantage to Japan. Russian knock on. Oh, it's advantage to Russia. Sorry, yes, you're right.
Now, come on. He doesn't get these calls wrong.
He doesn't. I do. You're quite right.
Knock on from Leach, I presume, is the call. And look at the Russian defence. It's struggling to keep up. The Japanese look far more composed at this point. They look like they're trying to get it. They're looking a bit more on top of the game now. They're looking a bit more like they've got confidence in what they're doing. They know what their plan is. They're not looking so flustered. What is
So
now
we're just waiting here for the Russian scrum. It's in their own half between the 22 and the 10 on their right hand side. So basically, what we've done, we've had a scrum come across the field and have another scrum.
We've got a really good statement here for you, Paul, from the chat. Oh, now has just said, how are you going to let Japan get up on you?
Okay, absolutely.
I'm not quite sure what he's gunning at there, but regardless, we'll go with it.
Well, congrats, Russia. They've managed to give themselves a penalty there. Took a long time for that one to be called, and what's that? That's only like the 4th or 5th penalty we've had this game. So yeah, this is going to get them a nice platform in the Japanese half. Question is, what can they do with it? So far, we've not. We've seen them go through some phases, but we've seen also the Japanese defence being able to basically contain them. And we have the Mexican wave going around the pitch, which tells you that the crowds are happy with where this is at. And that is a beauty of a kick. Right down halfway into from his own half. So from beyond his own 10, he's now going to put that into about 10 metres out.
There's a cracking kick.
So well inside the 22.
Cracking kick.
That is a very nice. Yep.
That make you look like he was trying to catch.
So here we are, Russian line out. Can we see here? Will we see the line out more? Can we see? Russia have lost one line out this game. Other than that, we've had perfect set piece from both sides. Cosmonauts on the TV again. Yes, loving your work, and they're going absolutely mad.
I want one of those suits.
The only one who's kept his helmet on is, and clearly he has had a few vodkas.
Right, here we go. Time to get excited about the Russians. What can they manage? A little play down the short side, off the back of the lineouts. Look at that.
They got away with
Practiced
it,
that one a
but
few
boy,
times.
the hooker ran a massive blocking move, taking out 2 players. That was so blatant.
You only get away with it here.
Hey, if you get away with it, hey, it's legal. But wow, yes, that was such an American blocking move for a runner. It was unreal.
Naki looks like he's being punched in the face. He is lumbering around with his... Looks like he's got no eyes. He's closed his eyes almost. He's standing at the first man off the side of the ruck, and he can hardly open his eyes for some reason. Not good there for the loose head prop. As the Russians trundle away yet again. What's this? 4, 5, pick and goes straight off the base. They are just a metre short. Time to go for Russia. There, that's it. That man's offside, but he'll just put the defenders out of the way. Another go at it. Can't even tell who's got the ball.
Penalty advantage there for Russia.
Now they've got a chance to do they use the backs?
They've got the advantage. We should be seeing the backs, but it looks like Japan are going to pile over this one. And yep, they've piled over this one. I can't see. Yep, Nigel blows his whistle.
Absolute mayhem. All over the ball. Thanks for tuning in, Max. Max from Germany. A Scot from Germany. How about that? Now that's a combination. What are you thinking about your Scottish side, Max? They're going to do well this World Cup. They've got a... They'll be watching this with much interest as well because I don't think anyone expected this from the Russians. A 13-point lead is all they've got, Japan. And they are close.
So you're 5 metres out, just near the posts. Sorry, do you turn down the penalty for a scrum, or do you go for a scrum here, or do you kick the line out?
Well, that's the question. You don't take 3 regardless. I mean, the line out has been really good from Russia. I think if they can get it there, that's the way to go. But being so centralised, maybe they're better going for the scrum. They have, I mean, to be fair, their scrum's been pretty good as well. So they got 2.
The scrum has been pretty good. The problem is, can you see them getting a pushover try? And if the answer is no, then can you see them actually bothering to use their backs now? They've tied in all the forwards. But they are going for the scrum by the looks of things, I think.
What they need to do is...
as we see a fresh front row on for Japan, or they've changed the hooker and one of their props. So yeah, the bench is now coming into play.
They need to play that little move off the line out once again. So Naki, well, look at him. Someone's poked the poor fella in the eye. And they got, a couple of changes. Shotohori is still there. We can see from his beautiful locks. Goldilocks will be proud of those.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's right. Except the wrong colour. But both props have changed. So, interesting here as we go for the scrum. Yes. Okay, so Russia have chosen the scrum. Do we have a set move off the back here, or are they going to just try and scrum for a yellow card?
You've said it. Now, I've tried to not say those 2 words all stream long. Yellow card. We have not had a yellow card yet. And I don't think this game deserves a yellow card. Surely we can stick to this. Surely we can have a nice clean game. Nice clean game. No cards. Excitement. Russia to score here. Make it close. What a way to open the Rugby World Cup. What a way to open it.
Nigel. Yeah, Nigel really does not want to use his whistle in this game.
It took so much time. It took so much time for him to get it delivered.
Because he's not using the special one, you know. He's not like every other World Cup opening where they've used the same whistle for the opening game. It's good to see the Crown Prince there going through his trying to figure out what's going on, looking at his match day program. Oh no! The player, whoever it was next to Bill Beaumont in his Japanese rugby shirt that's covered in signatures. You never wear a signed shirt.
No, it's terrible.
You never. Terrible. No, you frame them. Dear me, he's going to have to wash that now. He's going to wash all the signatures off. And Russia have absolutely. But
great turn!
11 makes a.
It's going to be the
what a great
it's the same guy.
break by 11.
Kolonitsky, he's going to do the magic. A terrible play, loose ball.
Okay. But hey, Russia have got it back on the 5 metre line, and picking goes.
No, they kept hold of it. Not a big chance. It's just a metre short.
Oh, holding on. Penalty.
Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. That is a real shame. He's something special, isn't he?
No, office.
He is a star.
He is, he's only a decent game because he got the try, spun out of some real trouble there, but in the end got after a couple of pick and goes, Russia ran out of players to clear out and got done for holding on. A lack of composure there. That probably rather than picking and going, that needed to be spun out to a pod and looked after. But white line fever came in there, I think.
Yeah, they got a bit flustered, didn't they? When it went astray, they were trying to keep it nice. They were trying to keep it nice and together, but it got a bit messy and it got a bit flustered. Hopefully, my volume might be a bit better. Still a bit quiet. I'm playing with it. I'm tinkering. Turn your volume up, or I'll turn Paul down. How about that would be a good balance.
No one turns me down. How dare you?
You're turned down. I'm pretty much maxing out right now.
That's what all the girls say. Yes, exactly.
Oh, I see. You're a different one. Oh, I've made a terrible mistake here. That's why. Okay. Apologies, anyone. Now I can understand why Paul was actually a lot louder, because he's a different sound source than what I thought he was. Beautiful. We've sorted that. It only took 56 minutes of the game, but now we might have sorted that out. Yes.
That was a poor clearance. The penalty, so they got the line out on their own 22, Japan, but really they should have made a bit more. Lost the line out. And, knocked on by Leach. We're going to have another scrum.
Oh, how many times there, Leach? Have 3 goes at it, son.
Oh, and yes.
I mean, I'm really surprised how much of a stalemate game this has been. Really surprised. Russia have stunned me.
Russia have been very tenacious, right? Let's be fair with them, and they've looked after the ball pretty well on the whole, which means that they can go through phases, but they don't look like they're really going to break this Japanese defense.
Oh yes, they are.
You can't see you just can't see where the scores coming from. Whereas Japan, they're playing with a greater pace. When they've got those offloads going, they've got a few line breaks, and that's when you can see them actually scoring. And that's been a difference between these two sides. As you say, it is pretty much a stalemate. But the reason it's not a stalemate on the scoreboard is purely because, the Japanese players have got playing a bit more pace and can and get it wide.
There is just over 20 minutes to go, Alexander, and welcome along, sir. There's 58, I should say, minutes are gone, and Russia is hot on attack and towards the 22. Playing a little bit expansive here. Morozov going forwards, and then going backwards, and then going forwards again.
Expansive? We're talking one-out rugby. What?
No, they're passing.
What rugby are you watching?
Because they're not picking going anymore. So this is about as expansive as Russian rugby gets.
Okay,
throwing half the team in here,
moment, folks. It's not pick and go, but it is one-out rugby, and they're going backwards a single pass at the moment. They've just gone from the edge of the 22 all the way back to pretty much near the halfway line, I think.
I think as surprising as it is,
so they're
kind of better when it's broken.
Actually, sorry, not the halfway line. They've gone back to the 10-metre line, but they've lost a good 10 metres.
I thought he was going to go for a drop goal there. That would have been interesting.
Oh,
big bomb. This is theirs. What a take!
Great claim by the 15.
Artemyev flying high, pick and go here. Great direct from Godsev. He's up and over it. He's been big in this game. The flanker, and a penalty advantage.
And there we go. We've got.
He's just taking a nap. He's hot, sir. Oh, look at this little chip at the top. Almost special.
So that was a wonderful. It landed just outside the 22. There was no chance the guy would be able to take a mark. Claimed really well by the 15. A couple of favours into the 22. They got a player not rolling away. And then they just tried a very speculative, I think is the nicest way of putting it, chip over. Straight to the Japanese player, which means we'll come back for the penalty. No doubt they'll kick to the corner from here. Oh no, they're taking 3. They're kicking posts.
That is a surprise. Well, I would have, they've got to look for 21, don't they? 2 more converted tries, 21-20. Imagine that. World Cup opener. Russia.
It would be, but 2 penalties here takes them up to 13 points 20. That gets them into losing bonus point territory.
That's true.
Potentially. We've And this is the first score of the second half. So to me, board. Show Japan that actually, look, if you're going to give away penalties, we're going to chip away your lead.
Back into it they go.
Maybe Japan will have to clear up their clear up their the way they play. Oh yes, you'll enjoy the player who's going on now.
Fumi's on.
Exactly. Here comes Fumi. It's good to see he's weighing more than just his Y-fronts.
Now the Highlanders' days will never be forgotten for poor Fumiaki Tanaka. He's a icon of Japanese rugby and Japanese culture almost, isn't he? The little man. It's been a good little performance though from the Japanese scrum half. I think he's been quite good. But Tanaka's going to add a lot more spark. I do think he's going to be a little terrier around the back here as the Russians are getting taken off.
Yeah, it's been taken off by medics, so it's probably going
HIA?
Is he injured or is it another HIA? We'll have to wait and see.
He doesn't look happy anyway. We've had too many unhappy Russians.
He doesn't.
Here's some experience.
Okay, it's not about blokes. There is some experience, but unfortunately, he doesn't know how to do up a scrum cap.
I was just thinking that.
fumbling with his strap. He's not that experienced. He doesn't even know how to get dressed.
Right, here's Russia. Back on their own 22. Thompson's on as well for Vanderbilt. Experience, plenty of experience coming on for both the sides.
That was the forward pass. Lucky got away with that one.
Massive forward pass.
But anyway, Japan are up to the halfway line with the ball. And they are playing much more expansively. We're not seeing the three-pot. We're not seeing a pot of three forwards going in. Then what do? They take a pot of three forwards and take it in. But they're willing to take it. Up goes the contestable kick. Well, contestable as in it's not gone forward at all.
Contestable by
Leach
himself.
catches it with nobody jumping for the ball. Jeez, folks, come on. Somebody jump.
No one releases the tackle either. They sit right on halfway. In a run, Thompson just on the field.
Have they?
He might be held up. Is he? No.
No.
We'll scratch this out. Very flat Japanese backline. Loving the little
Nigel Owens
pass.
an airplane to show the Russians have released the ball, and he does. No language barriers with sign language.
Goodness me, the Rucks are getting a bit of a mess here. The Russians are getting nicely into these games,
Tip and
aren't
go.
they?
Oh,
Lucky bounce.
Pinball.
No one's got it. No one wants it.
We'll come back to penalty. There we go. I'm as good as Scotty Stevenson at this stuff.
Alexander in the chat. South African, but an All Black supporter. Can't wait to see them smash the box. That's going to be the game. We'll be back. I'll be back. What is it? It'll be about this time tomorrow too, isn't it? That game's on. Maybe a bit earlier.
Yep, I might dial in for a half-time chat with you.
More than welcome. Epic game. That's the comments from Owen. Epic and game. It is. It is a good game. I don't think anyone expected this to be quite like it is, or it has been, to kick off the Rugby World Cup. And the Japanese are loving it as well. They're fully in behind it. That crowd is pumping. They are excited. 63 minutes gone. 20 points to 10. Trivia questions for decades are going to come from this game.
I thought you were going to start doing a quiz halfway through the show, halfway through the game. Have they? Keep it interesting.
Well, I'm not very good at quizzes.
You're not very good at quizzes? Oh, dear.
Go away.
Oh, he's gone sticks. This is a long range one, isn't it? From about the 10 metre line to about 40 metres out, 45 metres out. And considering he's missed a lot closer ones than this, this shows some confidence in the kicker. Japan really need one more try to get that bonus point. I'm surprised we really didn't go to the corner at this point.
It's a long way away. What's Tamura got in his locker? Don't think he'll struggle with the distance, but his accuracy radar has been somewhat off.
And the opposition, the commentators reverse. Over it goes.
Perfectly placed. Tamura adds 3 more, and we can edit the scoreline once again. But yeah, you're right. Now it's getting to the point where they need tries. If they need to seriously think about the rest of the competition, they need points, they need tries.
23-10 with 64 minutes gone. So we've got we're about a quarter of an hour left once they run back to halfway to take the restart. So yes, Japan got a quarter of an hour to score 1 more try, because that's what they need for that try bonus point. That 3 points, yeah, it seems a bit pointless to me. Wrong decision for me by Japan there.
I think they've probably...
Another change for Russia. I'm not sure who's just jogged off, but a player jogging off. So the bench really getting used by both sides now.
No idea who's come on. The change is underway.
Oh, no idea who's gone off. Oh, and a burst there from the hooker, the prop that's come on, and Japan looking to play out their own half here. No thoughts of kicking the ball, and we haven't had one long distance kick from Japan in the second half. They've all been contestable kicks, or they've played the ball. A massive change to how they were trying to play in the first half.
Oh, we just got a spot on right comment there. I didn't even update the Russian score. How terrible is that?
Sorry? Are you still on 7, were you?
Oh, it's on the wrong side. Oh, I updated the wrong scene. I deeply apologise, good people.
So good defence by Russia has pushed Japan back. So 22. Yep. And Japan have actually had to kick in the end. Oh, nice collect there by the Russian winger number 11. He's been one of the best players for Russia this evening.
Artemiev is falling over players who are already on the floor. Not his best work in attack there, but good spotting. Good spotting by Bruggy. Good spotting. Updating the score. 23-10 is the score. If you're just tuning in, it is the Japanese in the lead. They have been struggling. They've been struggling to catch. They've been struggling to string anything together, but they're finally starting to get a little bit of continuity in their game as it goes into the dying stages now. We're almost in the last 10 minutes. And he's just freestyle wrestling players out there playing rugby now.
Oh. There's an element of that, but another. In the first half, we saw this player. I've gone blankers, who is the Matsushima, the winger. Mm-hmm. He caught the ball, fell over, put his foot in touch, and then you said, "Look, he should have let it bounce and go into touch." What's he do now? He lets it bounce, it rolls into touch. Yeah, the mistake Japan were making in the first half, they've eradicated.
Yeah,
and the game plan is much improved, and we're forwards for that.
Matsuda's on the field, so Tamura's done his last act. He is off. I wonder if that's going to change their kicking game. Tamura's had a bit of a shocker, though. I think most people would agree on that. That is a horribly unstraight line out.
But he got away with it.
Yes.
I think that, well, no, he didn't have a very good first half. In the second half, sure, he missed the conversion, but his much more contestable kicks from him.
There's another good one.
Much better game plan.
I mean, they've got away with that as well, haven't they? The Russians, it was certainly... No, they haven't got away with it. The assistant referee calling that out. Welcome along, Lewis.
Knock on there by Russia. So we're going to have a Japanese scrum. Now, the Japanese scrum's been under a bit of pressure by Russia. So I think it'll be get the ball in, get the ball out as quickly as possible in this one.
Those tackle stats tell a bit of a story, don't they? 34 missed tackles by the Russians. We've got Logan joining us in the chat as well. What's going on, buddy?
They had something like 24 in the first half, so they've actually improved their tackling in the second half, to be fair.
Russian, it's surprised everyone, I think, how well they've played. But it'd be great if they could score another try. Really make this last 10 minutes exciting would be the ultimate goal, but it's looking less and less likely as Japan are starting to take over these final stages of the matchup. If anyone looks like scoring, it does look like them. The change is not making too much effect to the Russian team at the moment. They've got a defensive, well, it's in their own half, so it's a slightly defensive scrum, but they'll attack from this Japan. Tanaka's going to go down the short side. Oh, another touchdown kick, another ball into touch. Oh, they've gone quickly too.
And they're taking it quickly.
And away they go.
Here we go.
Out wide Japan.
Is he? Oh, he hasn't used that. He hasn't used his wide man there.
No, committing too early.
Had an opportunity to.
Tanaka's there. Oh, the ball is an absolute mess.
Oh, no. And Russia turned the ball over.
No, he's let it go. That's fairly done somehow. And the man that can't do up his headgear is charging up to the halfway line. He's finally got it together, though. I mean, look at that, Artemiev. Everyone's up on the line.
Show and go. What a lovely play by the replacement fly half. And good hooker play there. But Japanese foot gets in the way, and they've collected it, and they're on the break now.
There goes Lemicki.
The Russians are tackling each other. And
they are too. They're falling over each other. And now a little chip over the top.
There's no one at home. Is it going to dribble into touch? Not quite, no. And what was that? Jeez. A grubber kick from your own out of your own 22. And Japan quickly on attack on the far wing. And Matsushima is going to be in for another.
He splits the tackle, carves away one defender and two. And there's the try. Matsushima hat-trick. Finally, we get the points we thought.
That is one of the worst clearance kicks you will see in your life. He was waiting for it to try and dribble out. Foot was out of touch, out of play when he kicked it, so he had to kick it in field. But the point was, he just got no height on the ball at all. All his players, everyone was in front of him. They all knew they were offside. They had to just leave it alone.
It was a disaster.
Which meant that Japan had a totally free rein to attack and got caught out with allowing Japan to spin it wide. And as we've said all along, Russia are defending narrowly. And, they just couldn't scramble across.
Oh, it's a bit of a shame. Both sides looking like they were attacking. Even Russia's come out of the shell, I think, a bit more as this match has worn on. Looking a bit more exciting. Looking like they want to attack. But Matsushima's been the go-to man. He's even outshining Lafaeli in the second half. Let's be a bit more positive about it. Give the Russians all the props we can. 3 tries, though. Matsushima, he's the go-to guy.
Yep, and that's the try bonus point up for Japan.
Indeed.
So job done for them. As far as they're concerned, let's
take them off.
Let's blow the whistle and get the game over with.
Matsushima's got a bit of knock. He needs some magic spray. Take him off.
There we go, and they've actually managed to get a conversion over.
Because it's Matsuda. Let's add the extras on there. That's 30 points to just 10. What a change. What a change in the second half. We did talk about it. That was the topic of how this game is going to change after 40 minutes. Too much smarts. Too much from Joseph. Too much from Brown. Too much cleverness, I think, to allow the Russians to keep this game going as it was. Welcome along, Dylan. Yes, I do. I do have my nice new Flash jersey. Good to see you around. I'm ripping well, unlike Paul, who's wearing it. I don't even know. What is that team?
Hipster jersey. Ah, dear.
Hipster jersey.
Get into the Mitre 10 Cup.
No.
So follow, at Driving Mall on Twitter tomorrow. I will be at Farrah Palmer Cup and Mitre 10 Cup, bringing you post-match review interviews and stuff. It'll be fantastic. Join, the hipsters. And
I'll be at South Africa versus New Zealand, the All Blacks versus the Springboks.
Well, I'll be at that.
Come on.
Yeah, I'll be at that later in the day. This is early morning stuff.
No, we don't do early morning. The World Cup is in our time zone. We have to stay up all night making predictions.
And there we go. Deep, big punt, and oh, wow. Again, good challenge by the Russia. Japan don't handle it.
Oh.
And they scramble to save themselves.
He's going to suplex him.
He kept his feet.
Kept
his feet really well there to allow the players to get his defenders to get back and look after him. But Nigel's blamed for something, not quite sure what.
Fisticuffs. I mean,
knock forward apparently.
Really good in the air. You've got to say, really good in the air from Russia throughout this game. Their kicks that they've actually made contestable, they've got up for, they've competed for well, they've looked safe under it. Japan look better, but they're still, when there's 2 guys going for it, they still look like they can be under pressure. And they've still struggled to put them away, so they've got to keep that up. Lewis is going to come on tomorrow with his South African jersey, but he supports England. Lewis, what is going on with that? Why do you have a Springboks jersey and you support England?
I've got an All Blacks jersey and I support England.
But you have an England jersey as well, so you've got a bit of both. Where's the Japan? I want a Russian jersey. That's what I want.
They're horrible.
Do you
And
reckon?
it's not a nice jersey. I know
It's blue.
It's a Canterbury one. It's got that stupid collar, which is reversed.
Jesus.
Which I just what's going on there? And then it's got that funny red hash thing across the nipples. No, not a fan of the Russian jersey. I'm not a fan of that Japanese one either.
You're too critical on jerseys. Japan's cleared their lines, though. From their own goal line, they've smacked it long. Deep into halfway at least, so deep to the middle of the field. Going somewhere with it. Masuda's been pretty good. He's come on. I think he's made a bit more of an impression than Tamura had starting that game. Some more changes for the Russians.
The Russian 9 is off. So this is, we saw what happened when he went off in the first half for Hedge. Unfortunately, his replacement is not the same standard as he is.
He's been good. Dorothy, the guy to look out for. He'll be in Premiership Rugby next year, probably. It's the shop window. It's a shop window.
It is the shop window. You are quite right. It'll be interesting to see how many of these Russians do manage to find the way.
A lot of them are fairly older, though, as well, but it's fairly experienced players. Here's a good run. Straight through. This is great from Japan. See, Nicholas agrees with me. He wants a Soviet jersey.
What?
And as Dylan says, I want all the jerseys. That's right. I want all the jerseys. Send all the jerseys. Russian,
there
Japanese.
We go. Straight through, over the ruck, and Japan are making a lovely break there. Quick release ball, but knocked on.
Oh, Tanaka. So well to set that up. But he's played face tennis with it in the breakdown.
Well, you're lucky that wasn't actually a penalty there, Nigel. Do it offside. He could played at the ball after it come off Tanaka. That should have been a penalty, but never mind.
Technically. What's going on? Cassie's joined the stream.
Technically, you've been another one of the ones that says, the referee's hiding behind the law.
Who said that?
No, the referee's enforcing the laws you're supposed to.
Oh, I never said that.
I know, but look, here you go. Puts the ball forward, off Tanaka, and then he plays it again. That should be a penalty.
It should be, yeah.
Well, actually, off the head because it's not.
It shouldn't be a knock on.
Actually, it shouldn't be a knock on, but it's still played forward. So it shouldn't be a scrum. It should definitely be a penalty.
The face pass from Tanaka. He'll be used to them from his Highlanders days.
So there's no knock on there, Nigel. It's off the head. That was a foul.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. I'll just give him a call, shall I? Oh, hi there, Nigel.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, just reverse that call, please. But make it a penalty to Russia. And while you're at it, just give them 15 points so it makes the last 6 minutes entertaining. Thanks, buddy.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, no, I added that in just for myself. The Dreadlocks of Shota is off the field. Simon says Russia will be playing in their red jersey for the next match, which is probably most likely. But it'll be probably exactly the same jersey, except red, not blue.
So what? So they've got some sort of blue hashy thing across the nipples instead.
Something so cynical, the hashy thing across the nipples. What's wrong with a hashy thing across the nipples?
I don't like it. Simple. I don't like it. Now see, hat wear. We've had some good comments about Brown with his flat cap. I like Laurie Weeks with his with his bucket hat. I'm all for good head wear, but not bad jerseys. Oh, he's not found touch with that penalty clearance. That's a bad mistake.
Things going bad to worse.
And Japan again. Oh, that's the first long kickback we've seen from Japan this half. I think he'll be getting a telling off after that game.
Just about kicking the ball into their own player there as well as they clear it back. Some more chances for Japan. They're looking to run. They're looking to attack. Oh, overlap as well. They could have used that on the right side. They rush up. It's a knock on, I think, by the Japanese. It is indeed. I mean, Russia is still hanging in here. This isn't the thumping, I think, that we were expecting to see. Japan's still not playing, I think. Now look at the rest of that pool. I think Scotland definitely will be a team sitting there going, we're not so bad, boys. We're not so bad. It's a long time till we play, but we're not so bad. But in saying that, they've still got to play because they play Ireland first up, if my memory serves me right. So that will be an interesting game.
They do. They play. So Ireland-Scotland is on Sunday.
Indeed.
It will be an interesting game. So we've seen it because Lamore is at fullback rather than Rob Kearney. And we saw what happened when England played Ireland in the Six Nations with that. He gets totally out of position. Expect Scotland to kick the ball through and try and exploit that. But Russia's scrum here, solid. And the ball's spun out to their backs. And boom, cross-field, kind of deep kick. And the Japanese player's totally out of position. It bounces out. So it's going to be a Japanese put in sort of halfway down their end 22. Good kick there from a territory point of view by Russia.
They're winding down the clock, the Japanese. They kind of want this game to end. There is approximately 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes left to go. Alexander, we've got some support for Russia going on in the chat from Jack. He's saying go Russia. I think any Russian supporter can be pretty happy with how this game has gone. That is definitely for sure. 10 points on the board. They've scored a try. They led the game for most of the first half. And if they can put a little bit of pressure on here, they could put a little bit of a final flurry on this fixture. 30 points to 10 is the score. You can see it. It's above my noggin. 2 minutes or so to go. Line out for Japan. At the back, it's easily came. They've done nicely. Both sides with their own set piece have been pretty safe. And Himino has been outstanding for the Japanese at number 8 as they clear it away and find touch. Over halfway, another good clearance. They're doing it easy, doing it nicely.
Yeah, I mean, Japan have got everything they want out of this game. They've got the 4 tries. They've got the win. The only thing they can really get from now on is losing players to injury. So as far as they're concerned, slow it down. Let's just see the game out.
More support coming in for Japan. It's all happening. It's all going on. 2 minutes left. What can Russia do? Now, Lewis is supporting England. Well, wrong game, Lewis. Come back another day. Taking their time to throw it in. It's just a bit of a shambles there at the line-out. Oh, and they are not happy with each other. They are livid.
Yep, the lock throws it back at the hooker.
Yeah.
So this is how you throw it. And now he's walked over and told him, this is what
do
you do.
Do it properly.
Actually, it's a prop. They fumble at the back in Japan. On the attack now. Into the Russian half. They knock it on. It's all just getting a little bit too scrappy at the end here.
This has been less than convincing from Japan. What can Russia do? Another mistake. I talked about the set piece being pretty solid from both sides, but the replacements, I think, have certainly weakened the Russians. They've not been, I think, as good in their game plan in the second half with the replacements coming on. It's changed the game a bit. The scrum halves lost it quite a bit. The line-out's really fallen apart at the end there. Player of the match, Matsushima. I think that's fully deserved, don't you think?
Yeah, he's played well. The other player was centre
Lafayette.
Lafayette. I want to say Lamore for some reason. Lafayette. So one of those two had to pick it up, but he's obviously been getting the glory with a hat trick of tries. So unsurprising, he's picked it up. Yeah. Yeah,
Lafayette's been great, but he's been not very visible in the second half, whereas the opposite side of Matsushima. Dylan asks if
3 tries and 1 disallowed.
Does Russia have way too higher expectations? I think Russia's expectations would be to compete, to come to the World Cup, to do the country proud, to compete. And I personally think that they've done that in an extraordinary good fashion here tonight.
Look, Russia have done well. They've been competitive tonight. I had Japan by 30, and I know other people had Japan by 40. So look, it's a 20-point win by Japan. That's a win for Russia.
Yeah.
Not literally, but I'm saying it's a positive result. Sorry for Russia. Russia are being competitive tonight. They've contained this Japanese side that a lot of people thought would put, maybe as much as half a century of points on them, and they haven't. So no, well done Russia. Well done Russia for containing this Japan side on the whole. Now, have they looked dangerous on attack? Not particularly. The one opportunity they could get from a Japanese mistake, they took very well.
Lewis Gardner says player of the match is Nigel Owens. Controversial call there. He's given Owen a yellow card, so I'm not impressed.
Owens has been fine. He's kept out of the game. There's been very few penalties, and he's let the boys play.
It is the pretty much final play of the match here. They've kicked a touch, the Russians, from the penalty, and they will have a line out on the 22. And this is it. These 80 minutes is up. The gong has gone. The drum or the bongo thing has been sounded. So this is it. This is final chance. Last chance saloon.
Bongo thing? It's a gong.
The gong. That's the word.
The gong.
Bongo gong.
How culturally insensitive are you being?
Well, they had drums at the start.
They did have drums at the start, though. It's a wonderful opening ceremony with drums.
It was.
With pipe work. And I like the simplicity of it.
Yes.
It was all very good. And the way they recreated Mount Fuji was very good.
Can they do it?
One thing I would say about these opening ceremonies is there are no players there. You have all these kids representing the teams. Just one player per team would be nice.
Oh,
Japan
kicked
kick
into
the ball
touch.
out after some scrappy play, and that's game
They've
over.
had enough. They've seen enough. They've done enough.
So congratulations, Japan. They've 32 points to 10. They've got the try bonus point, which is what they wanted. And the boys are downing their final beers in the stands, which is good to see. You don't want to, no wastage there. One comment on the refereeing. Happy with Nigel Owens and what he did tonight. One of the things that they've been talked about doing is being extremely tough on the offside line. I didn't see that tonight. I didn't see I didn't see the side being particularly egregious with the offside line, but there are also other teams that I didn't see the extra officiating that they were expecting to do. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the tournament goes. But they've been talking about the about the offside line a lot.
I think overall the way it was refereed was more of a fact of that. Give them a go. It was an open game. It was a flowing game. It was an exciting game. What more could you want? What more could you argue for? They both had a chance. They both had a few things go, and they kept it alive, and it's an entertaining game. I think that's probably what the tournament needed to kick off with. They needed an entertaining matchup. It was close. It was exciting. There was nothing you'd look at when you look back at it and go, that was a terrible call. That was a terrible decision. Forward passes went astray. Nothing really matters. It was all good in game. Owens had a good ref. No issues from me there at all. It's kind of like the guy who got chopped from the World Cup ref, who was great last year and then was terrible this year. Can't remember his name. Let the game flow.
No, not Gardner.
No, geez, not Gardner. The New Zealand guy, former player, Glenn Jackson. That's his name.
Glenn Jackson, that's one. Yep.
Year or two ago, he really freed up the game, let it flow, let it play. He fell off, whatever, he's gone. Not worried about him, but I think that's how this game played. He let the game go quite nicely, gave the two sides chances, and was in a fairly exciting match for it as well. But you 30 points to 10, I don't know, is that a fair reflection of the match?
I think so, because I don't think really Russia only looked like scoring when Japan made mistakes. Defensively, they look good and they contain things, but attacking-wise, I think it's a fair reflection.
Indeed, you can't really argue. I think Russia, like you said earlier, will take this for a win. Right, it's full time. We're pretty much done. Do you want to look over any stats before we wrap up? Or are you running?
Yeah, we should do a couple of comments. So Lewis Gardner in the chat says Manny Tuilangi came from your school. Well, congratulations. Nakova, yep, it was the best low-tier game ever. That's perhaps overstating things slightly, but it was a decent game tonight, definitely.
I mean, compared to a couple of weeks ago when we did the All Blacks and Tonga, how I was constantly refreshing and uploading or changing the scores. There was much more of a refreshing match. Nice and close, nice and tight, exciting. Loved it. Bring it on. World Cup's here. Russia started off with this in a roar. We got excited. We got into it. It was brilliant. But we'll wrap up. We'll have a look at some final stats here. We'll follow up from what we looked at the halftime break. Lines like this one here. Defenders beaten 46-19. The Russian defence, like we thought, wasn't up to it, but their first half, the Japanese let them into the game. They let them play, but they tightened it up in the second half, and it started to show, didn't it, when they just couldn't string together against the mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And today, the big difference between Japan in that second half was they didn't try and play in kickback. They tried to, all their kicks were contestable, and they didn't use the one-out pods as much, and that meant that Russia was it 26 kicks in that first half, and they finished off with 42. That's still quite a lot, but they definitely got less opportunity to kick it in that second half. Whereas we look at Japan, 36 kicks, but I say much more contestable. The Russian tackling still 62%. That's just appalling. They have made much more of this. Any other sort of stats that spring to mind? not really. From looking at here, there's nothing that sort of jumps out that we didn't discuss at halftime. Just a quick look on the some of the player stats. I think it's what we kind of expected, which is Tsushima 102 meters run more than anyone else in the game. Lafayette, as you say, did all his work in the first half. These numbers aren't that much, but Lemeki on the other wing got through a chunk of work in that second half as well, which I guess shows you that Japan that width in the second half, which they didn't in the first. Oh wow! But Himeno, really great start to the second half. Actually put Japan on the front foot. They set the tone for that second half. Actually was the top meter maker, and for a number of that's really impressive stuff.
Yeah, he had an impressive game. I thought Himeno was really, really good. He had a good full match, which I think not too many players could say they had a good full 80-minute performance throughout the whole game. I'll look at the positives for the Russians. I think they can look ahead and they can look to Dorofeev, who was great. Their scrum half executed their game plan very well. And the man on the left wing, what was his name? Golonitsky. Phenomenal player. Number 11. Keep an eye out for him. Golonitsky, great player. He will certainly be around for a long, long time as well. But yeah, 9 and 11, they will stand out to me for Russia. A lot of work from those. And you see Golonitsky did a lot of work through that Dorofeev as well. The key guys they went through in that side. Defensively, what are we looking at? Missed tackles, there's a lot of them. Terrible work, wasn't it? Kushnarov, dear me.
But yeah, Kushnarov, 6 missed tackles there for the fly half, but not helped by centre pairing of Greshimov and Ostrakov, who both missed 4 each as well. Ostrakov, to be fair to him, made 10 tackles though, as well. Unsurprisingly, we saw Japan subbing their props early in that second half because one of them got through a hell of a lot of tackles in the first half. He got through a chunk of work. But Nakamura, also in the centres, and Tamara, again, that 10-12 combination, they both missed 4 each. That is not going to stand up against someone like Scotland or Ireland.
Yeah, they're going to struggle there, aren't they? And also Tupou at the back, we talked about it quite at the start of the match when he made that howler that led to the first Russian, well, the only Russian try. But, yeah, he kind of was out of it in the second half, wasn't he? He didn't do too much wrong, but I just don't see him as a fullback, so I'm not sure if we're going to see that happening again from him. But, yeah, overall, entertaining matchup to kick off the World Cup.
Interesting to see he's got 2 lineouts, one which obviously means he took quick lineouts. Because that's who throw them. So yeah, so Japan were trying to play at pace. I think that was more in the second half, wasn't it? They were trying to take. So yeah, Valu 2 penalties. He was the most penalised player, the hooker for Japan. But hey, that's by the by, really. Isn't it?
Penalties were pretty low, weren't they? Well, go back to the match stats. Well, the penalties 5 each, so. That's pretty low. I mean, some teams clean that up in about 5 minutes of the game till they get 5 penalties. So both sides, a pretty clean game. I mean, it was good that Owens didn't, like we talked about before, didn't have too much influence on the match, which was quite good to see. And that is, yeah, wrapped up. Nice and simple, nice and easy. We've been going on for what seems like it is literally hours through Russia, trying to play really well, doing nicely in the opening game of the Rugby World Cup, but ultimately not good enough to take out Japan. 30 points to 10. As we can switch back if you want to see final time. There it is. 30 points to 10. Russia playing very well, but not quite good enough to take out Japan, who, like Paul said earlier, get the bonus points. They get the win. No one really got injured. So overall, a pretty good result for the Russians. Thanks for joining me, Paul. That was pretty exciting. That was pretty good. That was pretty fun.
It was. Yeah, technical issues. Hey, we're now set for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, technical issues. I don't know how streaming and Skyping likes doing the same sort of thing, how clear and concise and good it was, but hey, whatever. On to the next one. I'll be back again for South Africa versus the All Blacks, or Springboks and the All Blacks tomorrow night. So if anyone wants to come and join us there, you're more than welcome. Paul might come in and out as the game progresses, maybe for a halftime bit of a chatter, but I think we're pretty much done. We've talked long enough. We've gone through the whole game. It was exciting. It was fun. Japan get the win. 30 points to 10. And we will see you all tomorrow night. Make sure to check out the channel for everything else. Make sure to go to behindthepost.com. All the stuff that's been scrolling down the bottom of your page for the last 2.5 hours. Go do all that and enjoy the rugby. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. And from me and Paul, take care and good night.
Yes, you're ready.